So
People are gonna be pleasantly surprised about EA actually putting out a sim for once.
say what?
I know, right?
No, that didn't happen. Madden dropped. No, I'm
Nah.
just messing.
Shit. Actually,
No.
exactly 2 weeks today from the day that Madden drops early access.
Oh, you're right, isn't it?
Yep.
Isn't it? Oh, babe, the food came.
Damn, we ordered food and everything.
Yeah, no, my wife did. I didn't. I didn't know that. I would have went to get it, and I would have went to go get it if it. I didn't know.
Y'all got a white people sitcom doorbell.
Hey, man, listen. Don't do that. It's bad enough our names is already like
Dong, dong.
it's already suspect. You know, my name is Kenneth. Her name is Crystal. They don't know nothing about the color of our skin until they see us. They be like, "Oh, wait a minute, y'all a black couple?" Yeah. It's like,
Well, my first name has German roots, so yeah.
ain't that right, baby? I'm pretty sure your name. People thought you was a white girl at one point, ain't it?
Well, yeah, and then when I'm at work, I have a different voice.
Right, exactly. So let's not do that with the doorbell. Episode 165, First and Frame Rates. Myself, DJ Bills. We got a pretty loaded show today. Obi-Wan already in the chat. What's going on? People done hit the like button already. Appreciate that. We love you guys. The channel, not the channel, but the podcast is steady growing. I looked at some numbers on iTunes, Google Play, Sports Center. Okay, I hope I don't get a flag for that. But
I got that alerted the exact same time as you.
Right, exactly. At least they're
Except
consistent.
My phone's on silent.
Yeah, and obviously I'm the only one who doesn't subscribe to having ring alerts like that.
Yeah, he got the Fox Sports ones that they do.
Shoot, no, I have the silent ones.
Mine is silent too. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, mine wasn't. I forgot it. I was just like, yeah. But I looked at the iTunes and Google Play numbers. People are watching. I see some other people actually going over there to give us a rating. Continue to do that. I don't care if you listen to the whole episode. Just give us a rating, preferably 5 stars. Don't be the clown to give us 1 just because we say something you don't like. Do the right thing, man. We're trying our best to give you the best, the most honest sports gaming podcast. We're going to continue to do that. With that being said, we're going to talk about UFC 4. We're going to talk about the impressions of that game. We're going to talk about spring college football. Yes, that's going to be a thing. And we're going to talk about Halo Infinite being delayed. So Sony fans, boys, rejoice. You guys have some ammunition for the other side. So with that being said, we're going to do the intros. DJ, man, how you been doing? I heard that you got semi-good news earlier this week. Let everybody know what's going on with you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because people probably are not on Twitter or anything. So I got my test results back and everything came back negative. But I'm still under quarantine until next Wednesday. So, yeah, I don't have COVID.
Keep your ass in the house.
My ass was in the house, well, except for getting a car. That provided
you were quarantine at that time, were you?
No, this was before I went on quarantine. But Virginia was one of the hot spots apparently. So
right. The important thing is the test came back negative. That's good to know. That's
other than that, been gaming. Been playing State of K2 still. Started up another My League because I'm gonna keep myself busy with 2K20's My League until 2K21 comes up because more than likely I'm skipping past Madden's initial release. I'm definitely gonna hold off until I see what they put as far as this Madden, as far as the franchise mode. But yeah.
A lot of people say. Yeah, a lot of people saying that they're skipping Madden this current gen altogether. I know a few people said 2K21 this gen they're skipping, but a lot of people saying they're skipping Madden this gen altogether. And I'm kind of not really surprised, but I thought people would give it a shot because I don't know when these consoles are coming out. So,
well, the funny thing is that last we heard is that Madden literally was going to port theirs they're not building theirs from the ground up like NBA 2K is.
Whoa, wait a minute. Madden is porting the game over to PS5?
They haven't said they. No, but here's the thing. I didn't say, okay, when I meant port just now, meaning that they're not rebuilding the game from the ground up.
Oh, Lord. I don't even want to talk about that. That's another. That's another time. No, that's another time for another day. I ain't trying to hear that. No, go ahead, Bills. Go with your
I'm
intro.
like,
and
NBA
let-
2K right now is the only game that has stepped out and said we've rebuilt it from the ground up.
Well, that is true.
I was gonna say the last I heard was that they said they were building upon some things that they, I guess, already had. But that's why I said that I think they went all out gameplay wise on Madden 21 was so that they had a solid foundation to bring over to Madden 21 Next Gen. At the same time, they may have done some new things as far as maybe how the game moves and some other things, but they haven't really talked about it. They've been so closed mouth about it. It's going to be interesting to see if it's that drastically different.
I'm not trying to hear it. We'd better have like a Madden 25 PS3 PS4 situation. I'm not trying to hear that. Straight up.
Well, they
I'm gonna
already
be
lied
mad if that's
about
good.
having franchise mode for 21. So right now, until they say something, they're not.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I don't know. I didn't even think about that, DJ. You're right. Bills, what's been going on with you, man?
I've just been playing UFC 4, getting my ass whooped. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been playing UFC 4, getting my ass whooped. That's pretty much what I've been doing. I mean, shit. I've been trying not to play too much because the game is like low key addicting. So I was thinking about creating another access account, but I'm like, it comes out on Friday, so I might as well just chill.
Yeah. Well, so
that's pretty much what I've been doing. Call of Duty and UFC 4. I haven't played 2K this week. This might be the first week that I've had a console and not played 2K since 2K came out.
right.
I'm leaning a little bit closer to getting 2K21 current gen. Still need to see that blog, but maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. So far, there's nothing to report. So
we'll see. I mean, it comes out a week after Madness. I mean, shit. That's
that's why I'm holding off on Madden.
3 weeks. So.
Okay, so it's going to be pretty good the next few 3, 4, 5 weeks as far as gaming goes. And I see some people talking about this Avenger game. That I've just never been into superhero games.
Skip.
Polarizing.
Skip. I'm skipping it. I don't care about the game.
It's been polarizing as far as what I've seen as far as the feedback is concerned.
Yeah, a lot of people been talking about it. It's like my thing. I just never been in a superhero game. I need to get back into them, but I'm just
what is Pooh talking about? There is no taking my rent tonight.
So he listened to the podcast last week when he wasn't here, and I told him he didn't show up. I was going to take his wrench. Remember I said that Thursday? We did the whole podcast. He didn't show up. I was like, what is he here for? What is he not here for?
No, you're gonna take your wrench if you keep falling asleep on your damn caps lock button.
I know, right?
Take your damn wrench.
Yeah, you know that's how Apex used to tweet at when he first got on Twitter. Like
I remember that shit.
He used to tweet like that on Twitter, and he used to text like that in the comment section of YouTube videos.
That's how we used to talk in some of them 2K videos. Come on, 2K man. Come on, 2K man.
Oh man, if people was around for those Skype calls though. Skype calls.
Geez.
Those were classic
for like 3 hours.
I'll never forget when I took the bait and I went over there as the representative of NWO. Went over into the Lions Den. Fucking J Music. Shit, who else over there?
Put him in the game.
Put him in the game was in there. Yeah, J Music put him in the game. MD, Apex, and somebody else was in there. And they're like,
you sure it wasn't Marauder?
Yeah, okay. No, it was like, tell us about Madden this year. I'm like, oh shit.
I remember I went over there before NWO was formed.
But it was funny though, because this was around Madden 15, and you told them how you felt about Madden 15, and all of a sudden MD ended up liking Madden 16. It's kind of funny how that played out, but that's another story for another day. Them Skype calls was great.
He took Calvin home that day.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into it because Chris Thomas already asked, and how do you like UFC 4? Let's get into these impressions. Bills, you're the only one that played the game. We all want to know.
Impression.
Yeah, exactly. The impression. So let people know what your thoughts about it, and we're all going to just sit back and listen.
Oh, before he starts, I know Pooh's like, I like caps. I be capping. Well, stop before you get capped.
Wait a
How
minute.
about that?
He not lying about that. He ain't lying about that. Be capping because he sure do be lying. So he right about that.
Hey, I be capping, motherfucker. We know. Since Sam Bradford's gonna make it through a whole season, you can cap.
Oh
like
my
that.
God, man! Come on, get to the UFC for it. Please don't get him started. Please don't
fuck
get him
that.
started.
We're not rushing through that. This motherfucker argued with us for a whole podcast about that.
I'm gonna have to take his wrench because he about to get crazy. Don't do that, about you know how he get about the Eagles.
All right, let me stop.
He be tripping.
Oh, what's going on, Real Football Gamer?
It was up. We'll get on to that later, man. I see your comment, but I'm gonna let Bills talk about this UFC game. Obi-Wan already said it's legit, so
Yeah,
let's see if let's see if Bills agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, one of the main problems that I had in the beta, like I said, I went undefeated in the beta, and it seemed like just watch, rinse, repeat from last year. Computer just blocking punches with the face. But they went to work and they worked on a lot of things that people gave feedback for in the beta feedback, and the game came out really polished. Ratings seem to matter a lot more. The highest difficulty is just insanely crazy. I haven't picked any of the upper tier fighters yet because it feels kind of cheap to get a win like that. There are over like 200 fighters in the game, so there's plenty of fighters to choose from. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you're talking at least, I'd say 10, even in the women's division. You have
That's an increase from what? I got a quick question. That's an increase from what the last game? That's 200. That's a lot.
Ooh, I would say last game they probably only had 7 per division. Now you're talking 12 per division.
Okay.
And then you're saying about 6 or 7 different divisions.
So that's a pretty good leap.
The big increase.
You know what? You know what's funny is it's kind of different when you have over 200 fighters in a sports game, but
here we
you only get like 5 in like these other fighting games.
Fucking Street Fighter, that shit was an abomination.
How they did Street Fighter and how they did Killer Instinct was criminal.
Well, that's what I was about to bring up. Killer Instinct, yeah.
Killer Instinct was
but it's still
start.
The problem with Street Fighter has a legacy of giving you characters off the rip, and that's the big problem with that. Killer Instinct was just coming back from in Nintendo 64. That was the last Killer Instinct, so I kind of see what they were trying to do. But Street Fighter has no excuse.
Gave you a game and you ain't have no characters. You
just had Jago and you had to pay $5 for everybody else.
What the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Shadow box?
It's funny. I think Killer Instinct's excuse was you could get the game for free.
That's what it was. No, that's why it wasn't. That's why to me it wasn't egregious, because you got the game for free. You basically paid for the character. So it's kind of like the reverse of what you do when you buy a game. It's like you buy the whole game and you have to work for the characters. No, you get the game for free and you have to pay for the characters. It's just in reverse. Yeah. But nevertheless, UFC, man. So what's it like?
Yeah, so I mean, it moves the same as prior UFC games, which isn't a negative because really the RPM, so to speak, in the UFC games has been terrific as far as I'm concerned. If the fighters move the way that they did, or I should say, if the fighters moved now the way that they did, well, I'm fucking up. If the fighters move back in Fight Night Champion the way they do now, that game would be even that much better. I mean, Fight Night Champion was good, but after they put out that patch, you kind of felt like you were moving in cement. Sometimes it feel like there would be a magnetic force that would pull you towards your opponent. But no, I mean, when you're using fighters that fight on the outside of UFC 4, it feels a lot better. And because of the sliders, of course, you can kind of lower the CPU's output so you have more of a realistic back and forth. And then, of course, they have it where you can pick the styles that you want your opponent to fight. Let's say that maybe the developers didn't put in the correct style for a guy, that you can actually pick another style. So if you're facing Anderson Silva and you think that Anderson Silva doesn't really fight like Anderson Silva and you want him to fight more like somebody else because maybe that guy's style would actually be closer to Anderson Silva's real life counterpart, you can do that. So that's pretty dope. The clinch game is completely overhauled, and it's not one of those bullshit EA taglines when they say overhauled. No, it's actually overhauled. It works completely different now. There are a lot of different elements and takedowns, and the thing about it is, what I'll tell y'all right off rip is, y'all need to go to the training module. You need to go to the training module. I didn't think I had to, but it has so many gems in there that let you know about how deep this game is. There are a lot of things that you used to do in UFC games that you think are still going to work, but no, it works completely different. Like takedowns work completely different. I was wondering why I couldn't take people down. It's a totally different element. There are a lot of hidden controls in there that you might not know about until you go to the training module. So you definitely have to go there, and that's why I haven't played the game as much as I probably should. I only have 10 hours on EA Access, and I want to wait till the game comes out so I can just go into the training mode and just really work it my game. Um, you guys know me. I'm on the highest difficulty level right off the bat. I think my winning percentage is something like, what's my ratio? Like I'm fucking like I think I got like 4 wins and like 15 losses, which is crazy because I don't really lose to the computer in games that often when I'm playing and play now and using decent teams or fighters, so to speak. But fuck me, I'm getting my ass kicked, bro. Like it's bad, and it's like I know I'm gonna get my ass kicked going in, and I'll still get my ass kicked. As opposed to prior years where it's like, oh, let me pick CM Punk and go against Bones. Oh shit, I beat his ass. It's like it makes no sense. But this year, it's different. You'll figure out right away that your guy does not have the ratings to go up against the opposing fighter. And that's the best part, is that if you go in with a strategy and you have a guy that can execute that strategy, you'll have success. But if you don't either go in with a strategy or going with the guy that can execute that strategy, or a combination of both, then you're just going to get blown out of the water. I mean, like Ravens Nation said, I'm pretty sure the ratio percentage will improve. It definitely will. I mean, I just got back-to-back wins. So it's one of those things where I'm starting to get used to the game. I went into the training module. I tried to figure out what I was doing wrong. I always make sure I look at guys' ratings to kind of see exactly why things are going the way they're going. And, one thing I'll say is these ratings on this game are a lot better. You guys would probably like this. They actually rank the fighters based on a star system rather than a numbers ranking system.
Yeah, I just talked about that in Call of Duty 2K8 to go into the letter system.
Yeah. So basically, if you see a guy like Bones Jones, he'll be a 5-star instead of a 95 or something like that.
All right.
So that's pretty dope. They still have the number rating. No, actually, no, I take that back. They don't have the number ratings for anything. All of them are star ratings. Like,
that's good.
I
really wish more. I really wish more games would go to that, or at least have it as an option.
Because it makes you mentally think. I mean, I would say a 3.5 star is completely different than a 65. Like, I don't think
right.
We talked about this before. If you're guarding a Stephen Curry and you watch basketball, you don't think, oh my God, he has a 95 stationary 3. Nobody cares about that.
All you need to know, his 3-pointer is A+. Defend him.
He can get up on him. Change it.
Right. I like I always say, I never understand what a number is. Like, what is a 93 speed? I don't know. All I know, he's fast as fuck. A+. That's all I know. You know what I mean?
Well, you had to run the game somehow. I'm like, keep those numbers under the hood, like all pro football did.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm not saying don't get. I mean,
no,
always going to be there.
I'm just saying, as far as for the crowd, that was like, why do we have numbers? Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean they do, but like I said, keep them under the hood. I think it's an overhyped mechanic that people use. I mean, Madden basically have a whole day of number rating. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like
number ratings. When we start breaking them down, you see that they're flawed.
Right.
The other thing, if these guys could go off of star ratings when they're releasing these ratings, or letter grades, I don't think people would have as much of an issue. I mean, shit, they talked about the arm strength thing. Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen, make them both an A+ and call it a day. Why does it matter if one guy's a 98 and one guy's a 95? It shouldn't matter.
Let's be honest. What is the difference between that? Honestly, if both of them throw the ball at the 30-yard line, what makes it, and both of them land pretty much at the same, or one may be stronger than the other, but the fact they're stronger than the other because of their body size and their mechanics and the way they throw the ball. That has nothing to do between a 3-point number rating. All you know is they throw the ball very far. That's all that matters.
The thing is, I mean, they said it themselves. After you get over the 90, the zone threshold gets completely, just better. It gets better. They play the position the way they're supposed to. It's almost like you're.
In other words, in other words, as the higher the rating goes, the pyramid slope gets more slanted.
Yeah, so once you get to 90, you have the guys that play pretty much the way a normal safety is supposed to, and the 95 is elite. But
Right.
after you get past 95, 97, 98 doesn't really matter.
That's what I'm saying. And to be honest with you, that's how it should be, because that's where that goes back to what we're saying about A minus, A plus.
Right.
It's the same thing.
So mentally, when you're playing UFC 4, and I'm going to get to your question in a second, Raiders Nation. When you're playing UFC 4, if you see a guy that has takedown defense of 2 stars, and you have a guy that has a 5-star takedown rating, you don't need to know what the number ratings are. You know that you're going to take that guy down. Now, here's the thing about that. You still have to execute the takedown in a timely manner. You can't just randomly do it, because if you watch a UFC fight, you know, a lot of times, or, you know, well, yeah, a UFC fight, for example, or any MMA, you'll see that when a guy goes for a takedown, it's usually either against the cage or after a guy's missed a strike. Usually he's off balance, and then, you know, you have a much better chance of getting him down. Other guys work from the clinch, right? So all these things matter. You have to know whether he's a guy that can just take a guy down regularly, or if he has to get to a clinch and then take him down. All those things are important. To get to Ravens Nation's question, he said, are the ground controls improved yet? It's been horrible every game. What I'll say is the ground controls work better based on ratings. I don't really have that much of an issue with the ground controls. I think the issue more so was that what you were seeing in the game wasn't, you know, the ratings weren't reflecting that. And I think that's different this year. Another thing I'll say is that the computer plays a lot more realistic as far as trying to block transitions, and they're trying to fake you one way and then, you know, transition out. And you can really hold a guy on the ground for a while and do some damage. The submission controls are different. I don't know, for everybody that's played WWE 2K, submissions are pretty much like that now. So you have to chase the bar. It's pretty interesting. I had a situation where I was using Jacare Souza. Jacare Souza is one of the great jiu-jitsu specialists in the world and pretty much ever. I got the guy stuck in my bar that I was trying to chase, and he never really got out. He had a last-ditch effort where he tried to get out, and I finally just locked him in again, and he tapped out. And the great thing is you have other elements during this where, okay, a guy can pick you up and slam you, and then he may get out of it. A guy can try to throw punches to get you into the submission and make you break your hold. There's a lot of different elements. There's times where you'll be having a guy take you down, and you'll actually be able to reverse it into a takedown of your own. You'll have a situation where a guy will try to take you down. You'll be able to reverse it. I had a situation where I tried to take a guy down, and he reversed it into a guillotine. I took him down, and I thought I was going to go in the half guard. He got me in a guillotine. So the game is just deep, bro. It's really deep. It's really simulation. It's really sim. Like, it's fun. And there's a learning curve, which I'm always for. I mean, you know, this is one thing that I could knock 2K for. There hasn't been a learning curve in some years now.
The thing about 2K is it's not necessarily a learning curve. You just basically have to learn the controls. I don't think there's. I mean, I'm agreeing with you that there's no learning curve, but that game is. The game of 2K is too realistic not to have one. You should be able to actually have to learn the mechanics instead of trying to learn what the controls do. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, I agree. But I think the other thing about 2K where they need to add a learning curve is it seems like year to year, a lot of the same shit works that probably shouldn't work.
Right.
As far as how you attack a defense. That's where the learning curve should come in, like, you know, the passing, right? That'd be a learning curve. If they overhauled that, the movement would be a learning curve. If they overhauled that, there's a lot of things they can do.
Not only that, it's just that when you have different players come into the league, they should feel differently. Like outside of the superstars, you think they would just feel different based off of the height and weight, and I mean, you know, they have like speed. They have speed and certain other things.
Mm-hmm.
Did he just cut out?
Oh boy!
Wow.
Jesus.
Think you're cutting out, VF. Oh well, VF got sniped, so I know you're talking about speed and whatnot. I was kind of half listening because I was trying to check out some other stuff that was going on, catch some other breaking news or whatnot.
I agree with you saying as far as that though. I think
Mhm.
players should feel differently when they're driving to the basket. They should feel differently when they're moving. And that should be the learning curve. But in 2K, like I said, there's a lot of times you're driving to the basket or you're defending a guy, and it seems like the weight and momentum don't matter to where there is a learning curve.
Mhm.
Um, Another thing that adds a learning curve in UFC 4 is distance. You got to realize how quick guys can cover distance. You got to realize their reach advantage. That's another thing. You may think you're out of range, and
Mhm.
you're really not, and you'll get lit up. Um,
You know what's funny? I kind of think about that when I'm playing a game like Ghost of Tsushima,
mhm,
where I'm the type of person that likes to fight from a distance
mhm,
because it gives me time to react if they were attack. And
right.
some people they'll just run up on you. Some will run and then they'll dash to where they're a little faster on the closing speed after a certain point, and some will just and I think you also have dogs in the game, so you always have to make sure that you time them because everything is based on timing anyway. But yeah.
And that's where I can go back to 2K and talk about that also as far as um a learning curve and you thinking that you're out of reach. Kawhi Leonard and Scottie Pippen come to mind.
Mm,
Their reach on defense, if they're being a pest and they're reaching and they're causing you to change direction, that should be a learning curve because their wingspan matters. It's not just that they're agile, it's not that they have great anticipation. Naturally, the way they're built should also cause a problem for you.
What
right.
in the world just happened? Like my internet just had a hiccup. That's weird.
Yeah, you were talking
Yeah.
about
Because you were talking about like speed and
yeah.
as
No,
far as
no, yeah. What I was saying is like, what you're saying, like when you play with different players, um, in some games, like from 19 to 20, they still feel the same. It's sometimes it be the same player, and I think that's something that needs to be changed. Like the feel of the player, especially in a basketball game, you should be able to feel that. Because we've been having that problem with Madden for years, but
Because it's like I
mm,
it,
told DJ, a there shouldn't have to be a badge for stop and go guys. And even
yeah, that's
it doesn't feel the way the animation plays out. It's like, yeah, you're doing it, but John Wall doesn't really feel like stop and go John Wall certain times. The animation doesn't play out the way it would in say even Madden. Now we played Madden 21. You can kind of tell when a guy slows down and then takes off again. It's different than in 2K where, you know, change of speed is important for a guy like John Wall and a guy
mhm.
like even Bradley Bill.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. The game needs to move a bit more realistic as far as differentiation of players and stopping and going and changing direction. All those things need to be a bit more realistic how they play out. But yeah, UFC 4, man, it's really good. It's really good. I'll say that it's really good. I'm having fun with it. Like I said, I got to get the full game so I can work a little bit more in the training module and kind of fine tune my skills. Learn how to manage my distance. Well, I'm learning how to manage my distance, but it's really more so knowing the fighter that I'm using. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it, and also I heard that the career mode is dope this year, so they've kind of gone all out with this game.
Yeah,
And
I
I
was
don't expect anything less because this is their last game on their contract. So this is a contract year for them.
mm.
So
oh
You
really?
know
yeah,
Oh, so that explains a lot. I didn't know that. No, I'm dead serious. I didn't know that. That's
because they
like that
did
explains
take,
a lot.
you know what, they did take extra time because normally they were on a every two, I think.
hmm
Yeah, it was every
Before
2 year.
this one, it looked like they went 3 years and got the extra work done. I think that's what they said they were gonna do was take that extra time
Yeah, they did. I
and get
remember
that
they
work
said that.
done.
thank God they listened to the beta feedback because, like I said, I was thinking it was gonna be completely the same based on what I played. I mean, other than the
Shit,
glitch being overall,
there's other games that can take that long delay and put their games out there instead of a yearly time on fashion.
Mhm.
But We're not gonna put Madden out there like that.
Mm.
But overall, it looked like everybody else's Obi-Wan saying the feedback was definitely needed. And Ravens Nation said the letter and star ratings make realistic. A 5-star doesn't mean that he can't get his ass kicked by a 3-star. Hand-to-hand combat based on numbers is the dumbest thing ever. A lot of type of things that's in games based on numbers is dumb in my opinion. So yeah, it's not just a hand-to-hand combat. I totally agree
Well,
with that.
it's just like I was talking to DJ about with the wingspan thing as far as defense. There are a lot of guys who have masqueraded as great defenders based on having long arms. And I'm sorry, I'm going to call him out. Penny Hardaway was not a great defender. He looked like a great defender at times because he had long arms. He would be a
Right.
pest. He had quick hands and he could knock the ball away from you. But he was not by any stretch of imagination a great defender. But
Mhm.
in the games, this doesn't really play out like that. It's not just 2K, it's live too. Where, in Madden too, there are certain elements where body type doesn't play enough of a role. And it's kind of better this year, but not completely where it needs to be. Where there are certain elements outside of ratings that should play a role, like a guy's body type.
Obi-Wan says that the beta feedback was definitely needed. Pete, shout out to Pete. What's going on, Pete? Pete said you also has a very good post-release report. Last game, went through a number of positive changes. That's because a lot of games don't get that. I mean, unless you have a backlash like Star Wars, most games don't get that good type of feedback or a lot of support once the game's out. So that's good
Mhm.
to hear. So if
Only issue
UFC is on,
I was gonna say the only issue with UFC is sometimes they nerf shit because people are
yeah.
bitching about it.
Well, I mean, that's
And
kind of like what they did with Fight Night Champion. Like you said, when they did that patch and nobody could move, it was terrible. You
Mm.
know,
good thing I
Raven,
downloaded that game, re-downloaded that game on Xbox One where I didn't need the patch, so I could play
right.
it. Kind of.
Ravens, they said the best MMM game is still UFC Undisputed 3. Bills, what you think since playing UFC 4? Because UFC 3 was a game I did play. And UFC Undisputed 3 is actually real good.
I will say, at the moment, UFC 3 by a hair. Yeah, I'd say still UFC 3 by a hair, but I feel like there are some things that you can do in UFC 4 that you can't do in UFC Undisputed 3, and I think the striking is also better. But overall, I think UFC 3 really hammered down the feel of an MMA game, similar to how we talk about Madden doing things better than NFL 2K5. But as far as the complete package and looking like football, playing like football, 2K5 kind of gets the edge, and it's the same with UFC Undisputed 3 in a way. And they also had pride in the game, so I mean, come on.
Man,
I feel like
what's so
UFC
disheartening.
had pride in there.
Yeah. The most disheartening thing about Madden, not I don't want to get into that too far because we're going to pick which topic we're going to talk about next. Madden is, and a lot of people may not think about this too much. Madden is so close to actually being a really, really, really good football game. It's just that just those small things that you just do not want to put in the game as far as modes, some things that happen on the field, legacy issues from the PlayStation 3 era still show up, glitches, bugs. It's like those things like, bro, it's like I've been for so long, the whole generation, and it's still didn't get this right. It looks good. The game don't move that bad outside of running animations. The animations there's like y'all just can't get it. It's really frustrating in my opinion. But
I feel like you may keyword may feel different this year.
well, I'm
May.
gonna jump on it. I'm gonna jump on it and play it and see because it's like I had no problem playing Madden 20. The problem was just the franchise mode. I just couldn't get into it. I don't want to just play games to play. I want to feel like I'm achieving every time I play, win or lose. And I just didn't get it. But the football I mean, once you look past the running animations, I really enjoyed what I was playing. I mean, I can't deny I actually thought it was a pretty decent game. But DJ, you got any other more questions about UFC? Or you want anything else to add?
Nah, that
No.
I didn't have. I really don't have any interest in UFC, and I think I had it that one. I think I had it the 1 year, but it's
The
definitely
first year it came out.
yeah, the first year it came out.
Yeah,
But it's
probably.
obviously it looks from what Bills is saying, what I've been seeing on Twitter, it is miles beyond that first game. So hats
Right.
off to that crew for doing a good job.
One more thing, real quick. Thomas says I play UFC 4 is pretty. I play UFC 4 is pretty good. I also like the star system. Strikers feel like strikers because if you catch someone with the counter, you can feel the shots. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. That's how Fright Night was. If you counter somebody, you'll feel that. That's pretty dope. Pete, I'm not putting that on the screen. It's not nice. I'm not.
Man, put it on a screen.
Okay. Y'all can read it. I'm not reading that. That's not
Why
nice.
does Madden have people with cerebral palsy doing the mocap for running?
I wasn't going to read that. That's so wrong. Oh,
Probably have Clint Oldenburg doing the mocap.
Stop it. What y'all want to jump to next? Y'all want to talk about spring college ball? Y'all want to talk about Halo Infinite?
Before we go on, VF, I don't know if I'm the only one that's hearing this, but you sound like you're botting like crazy.
Is it oh my god, my internet's not bad. I mean, it don't look like it.
Do I feel like
do you have multiple tabs up on your computer? Do you have like other signals that could be interfering with your internet, possibly just where you're at? Because
probably so, because I have a lot of stuff running when I'm on the podcast.
Because that's probably what it is. Is I know when I go in and out, I kind of check to see if I got other signals that are close by, whatever antenna that it's either on my PC. I mean, phones give off signals.
It could be my phone. I'm gonna move it out the way for a second.
Yeah, because especially if they're pulling from the same Wi-Fi.
You sound better now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it could be it. I'm just gonna move it. Nevertheless, what y'all want to jump into? College football or Halo Infinite? Hold up, Chris Thomas talking about Trump trying to shut me down.
Nah, I'm about to say, if anything, Trump wants you have to talk more.
No telling, right? You don't care about Halo Infinite? What about you, DJ?
We can get Halo Infinite out the way, Infinite Delay out the way.
All right, let's talk about that real quick. We all saw what they did with on the Xbox showcase or whatever. The game looked like an Xbox One game. I thought it was okay because I didn't look at the graphics, but clearly, if you do look at them, you can tell that it looks like it was borderline looking like a Xbox 360 game. It did not look that good. And a lot of people, had a lot of feedback about it, a little bit of outrage.
Then they named the low resi character. What is it named? Carl? Microsoft tried to make it a mascot. That was hilarious.
So they basically put out a statement saying that I'm gonna paraphrase this. I'm not reading this whole thing. They made a difficult decision to shift the release to ensure that the adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience meet our vision. It's not meeting your vision. Your vision was already out there. You guys wanted to put this out, and you wanted to meet the gamer's vision, and that's why you pulled it back. The decision to shift our release resolved multiple factors, including don't blame this on the virus. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you are botting again.
I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I'm sorry.
It's mad weird. I don't know why.
I know because I never really had this problem like this. They're trying to blame it on the virus, saying there was COVID related impacts. Also. Don't blame it on the virus. We're not doing that.
I'm about to say, how many years do they make Halo games? There's usually like a 3, 4, 5 year going.
It's like a 4-year gap in these games. So I don't know. I'm not getting into more of that. I
3 years and came up with 720 Carl.
Yeah. So to me, I just feel like it's a good thing that they're pushing it back, but it's not a good look for Xbox in general. This is like one of the only games they had that was actually a first party game that could have came out on time. Now they have nothing.
Pete Frenner said, "Yeah, he's back to the Stephen Hawking."
Yeah, I know. I
voice."
saw that. I saw that. I saw that. I
Yo,
saw that.
Pete ain't shit tonight.
You ain't lying. I saw that. I wasn't gonna say that. I hear you. So what do you think this is gonna do as far as the Series X release? That's pretty much the main question. I mean, what do you think? Does it think like another reason that some people may hold off?
People aren't going to hold off because there's still third-party games that you can play on your Xbox system. And with the Xbox, supposedly, well, on paper, it is more powerful than the PS5.
Right.
But right now, Sony has that one exclusive that's going to release with the console, and Xbox right now has nothing.
Yeah, so who
It's like
are they?
no Gears, no Halo, no Forza. Like at launch. Launch.
I kind of understand why there's no Gears because Gears 5 technically just came out. Yeah,
Unless they plan on remastering it.
That wouldn't be a bad idea because that game does look good on a vanilla Xbox when it looked great. So I wouldn't mind that. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that because I need to buy that game on PC. I really want to replay that game again. I actually had fun playing that.
I stopped after Gears. I played a little bit of Gears 3 and I just didn't like the story. And then I've watched all the other stories. I'm sitting there like, never mind. I'm glad I stopped after 2.
Yeah, because you was one of the few to actually watch my entire playthrough.
That was crazy. I was just like, he's getting clapped every second.
Hey man, listen, that one when I was in the ice chamber with that thing, that's the one. I think that was like episode 3. I was doing a live stream, and it took me about an hour to beat that ice monster. I was like, "Yo, what am I doing?" But
I came back, was like, "Man, he's still here."
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I want to run through that again. I want to buy it on PC and actually play it at 4K. I think that's going to be pretty cool. So I think that's going to be interesting. I don't have anything else. I just think it's not going to hurt Xbox in general. Most people are going to play their games like they don't have any of their first party titles, but the third party I think is going to carry it. Because it's going to be a more powerful console, so I think it's going to be okay. And then on top of that, I think they're still doing Xbox Game Pass or whatever game, and you can still play all those games for a cheap price, which I think about getting that back again as well. So we could jump into college or spring college football.
Did Bills give us an opinion about this? Or Bills, do you have anything?
I don't care about that garbage.
He don't care.
I'm looking at these pictures that Cardi B posted from this video. That's what I'm looking at right now. Jesus Christ.
It's funny, just to talk about that for a quick second. I grew up through Little Kim and Foxy Brown. So I don't know why anybody even remotely has a problem with that video.
If you grew up in the late, if you grew up as a child between the late 80s,
I'll go back even further. If you grew up on anything Etta James or the woman who played Catwoman back in the 60s or whatnot, they had risque pictures. Marilyn Monroe. I mean,
this is why people have a problem with it. And the people who are just talking about not being role models and all that stupid shit, I'm not entertaining them. There's another section of the people, and a lot of them are men, that are saying...
simps?
No, I don't mean simps. I mean the opposite. There are men who are saying, look, you talk all this shit about stop objectifying women, unnormalize this, unnormalize that. But then they come out with this shit and it's, they're just having fun and let them have fun. No, you can't have both ways, bro. If you're going to talk about your wet ass pussy or you're going to come out here and be a respectable, you can't have it both ways. You can't say stop objectifying women. And then when they literally objectify themselves, it's, they're just having fun. Like, no, that's why people have an issue with it.
I don't like I said, if you haven't had... If you grew up in the early 90s or whatever, this is nothing new. Like DJ said.
But they weren't saying stop objectifying women back then.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
they were.
They were back. There were backlash when the Kim Hardcore album came out.
There wasn't a movement though. She was
that's because you gotta think about it. Social media was not what it is now.
See,
But that's the
then,
thing.
I
It was
mean,
a different type of movement.
yeah, it was different because back then you had MTV talking about it, BET, you actually had VH1.
Herself.
Yeah, you're right, but I'm just saying it's just the outrage was there. It's just not on a mass scale because of social media.
But that's
And
what I don't care about the outrage of people who are just cringing at it. I the people who say, look, you know, you're talking about this movement and then you do this shit. Yeah, those are the people that I'm with.
yeah,
Because,
like I said,
it just undermines everything that they claim. And I'm identifying women, and you know, why if they dress like that, do they automatically have to be whores? You
'Cause, I mean,
literally in the song said there's some hoes in this house. Are we really doing this shit?
and not only that, Bills, you don't even know that song right there. That is a sample of an old song. Like that there's some holes in this house. That's not nothing new from that song. That is a sample from an old song.
No.
So it's like I said, if you grew up in the early 90s, Miami
This
bass,
is Foxy Brown and Little Kim in 2020.
yeah, Two Live Crew.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, like if you listen to Two Live Crew, you listen to
BET After Dark.
Yep. Trina is another one.
Yep, Trina.
I remember the Payback from Mia X.
What about the woman that was like my neck and my back? Isn't that her name?
Kaya,
Kaya,
yeah,
Kaya. Yeah.
You know,
Well, the only difference is now the video hoes are the ones with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So it's nothing new. It's like if you can tell by some people's ages when they're quote unquote outraged, because if you grew up in the 90s, it's just repeating itself. Me and DJ, we saw this before.
And here's another thing: stop talking about them being role models for your kids. They don't got shit to do with your goddamn kids.
But see, this is the thing. You know damn well that your kids should not be watching it. And if you're even on that level thinking that about them being role models for your kids, then I blame you for letting them watch that.
It's just like that school.
Only reason
I will say this: if my daughter puts that on, we're gonna have a talk. The point blank. I'm not going to sit there. Oh, look at it. She's watching it, and then go do something else. We're having a talk.
The only thing that I would say, and I'm not speaking from experience because I don't have any kids that I know of, and is that it's harder to keep kids from these outside influences like it was back in the day.
It is, but
that's
if
all I'll say.
But even if you have a talk with them, at least have some type of intervention. Don't just say, "Oh, it's they're not going to be hidden from it, so don't worry about it." At least talk to them and tell them, "Hey, this is why they're doing this, this, and this, and this is why you should or should not do this." Don't just say, "Okay, it's so easy to see the video because if you have a phone and the internet, it's easy. So I'm just going to let it ride." Now, at least talk to them, because you don't want them to be saying like it's all good, and 20 minutes later or a day later, they're at school singing "There's some hoes in this house." You don't want to do that. I mean, at least talk to them. You know, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, I remember there was a club song called "Beat That Beach for the Whip," but that's a different club song.
My only thing is, I'll just say,
we're talking about this as his son is just popping.
He's just right here. He's throwing some of my games around, and I'm trying to stop him from doing it because he's pulling games off my bookshelf.
But yeah, Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B aren't inclined to care about any of that.
No, absolutely, it's not on them.
Parent your kids, and that's
right. That's it. I mean, I'm not saying like, look, you know, I mean, you just had to have that talk with your kids regardless.
There was a student organization that came after the WWF because they said that Stone Cold Steve Austin was not a role model. He's not fucking supposed to be. He's flipping people off.
Exactly.
Didn't Charles Barkley have a commercial back in the 90s?
Said he wasn't a role model.
It was like any knucklehead could score. I am not a role model. I probably two separate commercials, but still.
And if anything, I'd say Charles Barkley may be closer to a role model as an athlete, but even then, it all falls into the entertainer realm, and that's why I don't like. And maybe this is because I'm an entertainer / musician / whatever you want to throw me into. This is why I don't like people that are musicians and celebrities being held to a higher moral standard than Joe Schmo walking down the street.
Right, I agree with that. I totally agree.
That's why I don't like that.
I would never put the onus on the entertainer or the actor or the athlete to say, "Hey, my kids are around, so watch yourself." No, it's the opposite. You can't. You have to look. At least at the bare minimum, tell them what they're watching and have them understand what they're watching. Like, look, this is not how you're supposed to act. You're 11 years old. Do not act like this until you're 18. You better not be trying to dress up in anybody's
Until
clothes.
you're 18.
No. You better not be dressing up. Nobody like Cardi B and them talking about there's some hoes in this house until you're 18.
I'm telling my daughter there better not ever be some hoes in this house.
No, that's true too.
Unless I brought them in. Like you said, if you bring any of them hoes up in here, make sure I fuck them first. Don't be a menace.
Well, first, who's having sex?
Overtime nigga be some hoes.
I'm trying to remember what movie that came from because I remember laughing my ass off.
Don't be a menace. If they bring any, don't be a menace. You bring any of them hoes up in here and make sure I fuck them first.
Anyway, let's get to this college football because we kind of.
Before we get to the college football, this Tampa Bay Columbus game is in the 5th overtime.
What?
For the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs? Because the actual first round has started with today's game.
Those periods are 20 minutes each, right?
Yep.
Oh wow!
God.
Oh, I know that. That's
all I know as a Washington Capitals fan, I've been witness to many overtime games.
Yeah, but how many times? What time? I'm trying they game at 4
I think the Caps and another team have the record for the longest playoff game to include, I think, 4 or 5 overtimes. So
they're about to basically play 2 games.
And what's gonna end? Well, they already did. Well, yeah, you're right. And basically, what's going to happen is that you talk about players not being able to move.
Oof.
I'm like, that's like putting NHL 20 with the speed on 1 and acceleration on 0. That's what it's going to look like with fatigue at 100.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Oh, by the way, another side note, you heard it here first. The Grizzlies ain't making the playoffs because Portland's about to win this game.
I heard about the Grizzlies just have a collapse within the last couple of days. What the hell happened with them?
I don't know.
I know
Lillard back-to-back 50-point games, by the way.
Yeah, wow. Johnny about to have a heart attack if they don't make the playoffs.
Well, I mean, look, he had a problem with the Titans earlier this year. Now he has a problem with the Grizzlies. He's just having a bad sports season.
Posted King said, I just wanted to say, have you heard what other pros said about Zion? About what? That he has to drop weight? We already agreed. But
somebody put a
he's not out of shape. He's not out of shape as a regular human being, which is what we were talking about.
Somebody put a meme out there about Zion. I retweeted it. I thought that shit was funny. That was funny. I don't know if I can find it anymore, but it was funny as hell.
If they can get his body type in the game, that'd be nice.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's a cover athlete of one of his games.
Skinny in that. He looked a bit skinny in that trailer.
Oh, in that trailer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, he was sweating a lot, so maybe. All right. So
college football. Let's talk about college football. All right. So the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, right?
So far, Big Ten, Pac-12. As far as the two major ones, I know they have like a big major 5, but right now Pac-12, Big Ten.
Mm-hmm. So they all canceling out. So it's going to be a situation where they're going to try to play in the spring. So with that being said, I'm curious to how that's going to play out. You think they're actually going to play, and who's going to want to play in the spring because the draft is going to be coming up shortly?
Well, if you think about it, I know the springtime for football athletes is usually that time where they're practicing against each other and they're having their inter squad games. So it will be different, especially with the temperature wise is going to be different if they're able to pull this off. But I think it also gives them more time to come up with some type of situation where maybe you provide a bubble environment for these athletes.
Possibly. I think a lot of the superstars aren't going to play. They're just going to go to get ready for the NFL draft next year.
Well, no, I know some right now are trying, like Trevor Lawrence, putting together coalitions where it's kind of looking like the NFLPA in a sense of they're pushing to try to play this fall. And then you also have other situations where it's just like, well, if let's say like the Big 12 were to, because Nebraska's talked about, well, the Big 12 cancels, we'll just find someplace else to play.
Yeah, the Nebraska said they might try to go to the SEC.
A lot of teams, they say the SEC. This was one that what's his face, Pat McAfee said on his show. It's like the SEC makes a lot of money. It's like, hey, well, if your conference is going to play, come on down, you can play with us, and then all of a sudden it'll be a way to shift the whole landscape of college football to get more teams to play in the SEC. So you got teams like Nebraska in the SEC. You bring like Ohio State to play in the SEC, and it's whole world collapsing.
Yeah, I mean, you probably looking at a situation where the whole dynamic of not division, but conferences could be skewed to the point where
even more than what they were previously.
Yeah, you could probably get to the point where it's like some of these basketball conferences, like some of them have almost like 18, 19 teams or something. I think it's something like that. It's like some of these basketball conferences, or it could be a situation where they could split up to even being more depending on what's going on, or it could contract. It's just so many dynamics there for them to be like, all right, I don't know what's going to happen, because the traditional side of things could change based on how, let's say, if Nebraska do go to the SEC and they have like a really good relationship for this one season, it may find them profitable not even to go back to the Big 12. What are they in the Big? No, they're in the Big 10 now.
Well, which team?
Nebraska. They're in the Big 10 now, right? Because Nebraska used to be in the Big 12.
I think so. I haven't checked the conferences as of late. Let's see.
Yeah, they're in the Big 10 now. They used to be in the Big 12. I remember they used to be in the Big 12 back in the day. So, yeah. So,
yeah, I see them right there with Northwestern and Purdue. They're in the West Division at Big
10. Yeah, because they used to be in the Big 12 before they moved to the Big 10 in 2011. So, but you just never know. Like, they may have like this really good relationship, or they may come out with different business future business situations that may benefit them to not even go back to the Big 10. You just never know what may happen with all of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, they have, like, I'm looking here, they have rivalries with Miami. They have a rivalry with Texas, Oklahoma. With them going back in the SEC, I doubt it, but they could give them a more leeway and more flexibility to possibly renew some of these rivalries. I had no idea they had a rivalry with Miami. I honestly did not know that. But those are the things that you may want to look at that may, benefit them. Like, hey, we may not be able to get into the SEC. Maybe we can get into the ACC or something like. It's just so many. Or it could be just a totally different, a new name conference. You just never know.
But the main thing I have an issue with them trying to, like, obviously not all the conferences are on the same page when it comes to how are they going to be able to have these kids play safely. That part is really mesmerizing because it kind of reflects what the whole country has been. It's like no one's on the same page about how to proceed further. Everybody's doing their own thing. It just adds to the confusion. And it's for the college kids, I'm like, we're already having issues trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do with school openings and high school sports, because a lot of high school sports have been canceling. The fall sports have been canceling. Trying to figure out, okay, what about the kids' senior year? That basically is wiped out now because they're not going to be able to play their sport that they're probably getting a scholarship from.
And
then you're talking about current athletes getting scholarships pulled potentially.
Yeah, because they just talked about that when the virus started back in March, when it started affecting things in March.
Yeah.
A lot of kids are supposed to get their another year on their scholarship. Now you're pulling, now you're pulling a year again. So it's like, what you're gonna give them two? You're gonna give them two waivers for the scholarship now? It's like, it's kind of weird.
And you're talking about the kids in the spring sports of earlier this year that couldn't play their sport, that they were probably going to get some final tape, maybe show up a couple of signings. I'm like, no one really did their collegiate signings like they normally do during that
Right.
time. So a lot of things are just like messed up due to COVID and policies related to COVID, and each would it depending upon which region of the country you're in will be how either your collegiate conference is going to act, how your high schools are going to act, and how just overall the process is going to be. And honestly, it shouldn't be this way, but that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I totally agree. So now I'm trying to figure out how that's going to play out. It's all jacked up. I don't know. Bills, what are your thoughts about it?
I stopped caring about conferences when the Big East closed down.
Dang, that far back. That was 2003, bro.
Honestly, I'm gonna have
sorry.
to. I'm gonna have to agree with him on that one.
Well, no, it wasn't 2003. I mean, they still had. I think the last Big East championship
like
that they had
was it?
Yeah.
I keep thinking.
When Kemba went off in that.
Okay, because see, I keep thinking about the defection of Miami and Virginia Tech. Remember when they all went to the ACC? That was back in 03. So that's what I keep thinking about, because they used to be in the Big East. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, college basketball was big for that. As far as football is concerned, I just want to see at this point with the playoff system, I want to see good teams play good teams. Some of these teams are in some shitty conferences, and it's about time that they face some good teams throughout the year.
Yeah, because the Big East came from they disbanded in 2013 and got back together 2014. It was only going for a year, I think, or something like that.
They've been trying to create this facade the past 4 years that Alabama's playing this tough conference. No, they're not. They're not playing a tough conference. Oh my God!
Don't let these Bamas hear you say that.
Oh my God! Ole Miss, like, get the fuck out of here.
You talking about like the West Conference of the SEC?
Like everybody
in general,
fucking garbage. Both
like
of
everybody
them.
fears Vanderbilt.
They're a top-heavy conference, and you can't even really call it top-heavy because they come out of it every year because they're that much better than those teams, and nobody really challenges them. Auburn comes up with a fluke win, but I mean, other than LSU, they haven't had any competition since Texas. Since Johnny was there.
Georgia gives them a run, but Georgia always fall flat on their face. But Georgia's not the problem when it comes to just. I'm not gonna say the problem. Georgia's not the criminal crop when it comes to SEC in general. It's just they always find a way to fall flat. But as far as like matchups against Bama alone, Georgia does find their way to get close. But as far as, like you said, like a tough conference is something like you'll see like numerous teams coming out
the Big
different
10.
years,
The Big Ten.
The Big Ten kind of reminds me of the SEC North because it's not too many teams. It's almost top heavy, just like the SEC.
But in general, I'm talking about like overall. If you think about in past years, I mean, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State. Those main four are teams that always play each other very hard, and then you have those other teams like Wisconsin that can give you some trouble in those random weeks. But SEC, I mean, Alabama has like 4 or 5 games where they beat people 56-14.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
There's not really any other conference. I mean, look at the Big 12. The Big 12 may have a lot of bad teams defensively, and honestly, out of the Big 5, it might be the worst conference defensively because that's just their play style. But at the same time, you got the Oklahomas and you got the Texas and you got Oregon, not Oregon, that's Pac-12. But you got Texas, you got Baylor, you got some good schools there, and there's not one school that is the overarching fucking favorite.
Right.
Every single year with no competition.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But it's not that these conferences are like so much more competitive, but it's the fact that they lean on that as, oh, look at who Alabama faced in SEC. It's like, no, you can't lean on that anymore.
Right. I can understand
Because
that.
if you're gonna talk about how weak Ohio State's schedule is, you have to do the same thing for Alabama.
Yeah, I think when you really look at those two conferences, I think they're pretty much like neck and neck. Because you have your Ohio State is your Alabama, your Penn State is your LSU, you have Michigan is your Auburn, Wisconsin is your Georgia. You kind of see what I'm saying? They almost like parallel each other when you really look at it. But yeah, but I get what you're saying. When it comes to the Big Ten, you have more parity. Like a Penn State could be the champion, or Michigan could, or Michigan State could be, compared to the SEC. It's like LSU, Alabama. Like who else? You know what I'm saying? Like the Michigan
And that
State
was
is
that was LSU for 1 year,
right,
and
and
that
then,
was
then
literally because Burrow came and just went to work.
well, I mean, same thing with Auburn when Cam Newton was there that 1 year. You know what I mean? So I totally understand what
Look
you're
at the other
saying.
schools that have just completely fallen off in that conference: Tennessee, Florida.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And it's funny, like in Kentucky, have some type of a resurgence, or not a resurgence, but they have a surgence, which they'll probably never see again because Kentucky is Kentucky. Then you got Vanderbilt. The Vanderbilt had a good coach. He went to Penn State. You see how that went.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I said, since Johnny Football was there, when he rolled up in Tuscaloosa and dropped 40 something on him, they haven't had a threat in that conference that legitimately looks like they are better than Alabama in the regular season.
Right.
LSU was, like I said, the 1 year.
And it's gonna be hard for them to replicate that because everything just fell in line with LSU that 1 year. I mean, I don't know. They always tend to have talent, but what they did last year is that was like you can look at that and you watch that season. It looked like a once in a lifetime type deal where all those players get together and play that well.
And that's also because Burrow was just literally better than everybody by
I mean, and that's another thing. Exactly. I mean, you look at the Auburn team with Cam Newton. Everything just lined up that one time. You haven't seen Auburn replicate that since.
The one thing I'll say, also, I'm tired of people taking credit away from Joe Burrow. Well, he's a fifth-year starter. What did he do before that? Doesn't matter. Look what he did last year. He fucking destroyed college football. Absolutely destroyed it.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Go with mommy. I know you ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, this game is tied at 1:30. Mr. Ham ain't lying.
Yeah. I'm kind of keeping tabs on both the hockey game and the hockey game and because the hockey game is kind of crazy. Tampa's at 87 shots taken. Oh, shots on goal.
Jesus.
Poster King said he had 5 years though. Okay, so what about these Alabama quarterbacks who stay 5 years?
Well, wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. That you gotta think about it. These Alabama quarterbacks stay a long time and don't do not even close.
AJ McCarron stayed half a decade there.
Yeah, exactly. That's saying AJ McCarron been there for 4 years. Possibly 5. I don't even know if he redshirted.
And even then, that's not an excuse.
No, it's not. It's like it is what it is, And let's think about it. Joe Burrow was not that good prior to the year that he had. He went to Ohio State and got ran out. It's not like he basically developed his craft throughout the years. And I think that's something to be, that's something to be beholden to because he had to transfer.
Joe Burrow, see, that's the thing. If you want to use that excuse for another guy that had an average or maybe slightly above average year, fine. Joe Burrow had 5,600 fucking yards.
Mm-hmm.
He threw 60 touchdowns and 6 picks. Stop it. I don't know why we're even having this discussion right now. 60 fucking touchdowns and 6 picks, and you're telling me that's a 5th year? That's why he was at. Come on, bro. Like,
I mean, yeah, the Ed Orgeron and them, they just ran a really good offense, and it catered to his skill set, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But the man threw 60 touchdowns in less games than an NFL quarterback would for his level of play. That's what people don't realize. He basically threw 60 touchdowns in 15 games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Final 20-some seconds in this game.
Well, like I said, I never I never take anything away from what he did. I mean,
also you're saying that he was the game changer because they said they always had a good offense, never had a so he was the game changer then. Okay.
For LSU, That's one thing he may have a point on. Let's think about LSU quarterbacks. they
But
weren't
what I'm
that
saying
good.
is
Wow, that is
but
crazy
what I'm
how this
saying
game
is
is going to end.
that means literally that Joe Burrow was the difference, does it not?
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm just
You
saying.
just said they always had a good offense, never had a quarterback. Oh, so
No,
that means Joe
I totally
Burrow.
agree with you. I mean, he does have a point there, but it's kind of to his detriment because if you look back at the Matt Marks of the world or the Matt Flynn's or Jamarcus Russell or you know, I mean, the LSU hasn't done really good with the quarterback. Put him in the game also says that Joe Burrow's going to suck at Cincinnati. I think he's going to be okay.
No, he's
I
not.
don't think he's going to set the league on fire, but I think he's going to be that solid quarterback that they need. I think he's going to be better. He's going to be a couple of steps better than Andy Dalton. I think that's fair.
Guy with the talent level of Joe Burrow's not gonna suck anywhere. That kid.
No, like I said, it's to me. I don't think that he's going to light the league on fire. I think he's going to be a couple of steps above Andy Dalton, and I think that's okay because Andy Dalton wasn't a bad quarterback.
I think Kyler Murray part 2 for last year.
I can see that. I definitely can see that.
And he has more talent than Kyler Murray. Obviously, more arm talent. Burrow's gonna be big time.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay. I'm not ready to give him the superstar treatment yet, but I think he's going to be above average to good quarterback coming in, you know, and I think that's very good for a rookie to be.
What does that even
average.
mean, Poster King? He was not taking nothing away. He was talent. He has talent, but he's ass.
What?
Okay. I gotta put that up on the screen.
All right, you got it, bro.
He's not taking away nothing away. He has talent, but that's a contradiction, ain't it?
That's a hell of a contradiction.
All right, let's name a couple players who have talent but ass. You got one, Bill?
Oh man.
Man, that's
you know
what? You know of the year candidate right there.
Yeah, I don't know who you think, DJ, who got talent but his ass.
See, here's the thing. If this wasn't Joe Burrow and this was a guy who was a disappointment, I would get where he was coming from because there are a lot of guys in the NBA, for example, that had talent but turned out to be asses football players. Joe Burrow is not one of them. He threw 60 fucking touchdowns. We just went over this. I think he's gonna be. Put my money where my mouth is about what? I'm betting on Joe Burrow now.
I think he's.
You know what, Pete? Yeah, you're right. J-Lo got talent and an ass.
J-Lo has an ass. I don't know about talent, but
she got dancing talent. Yeah,
she can dance.
Just can't sing.
I don't think dance.
Don't hit that note. Hit that pole.
I think Mr. Ham.
You heard that.
I think Mr. Ham got it. I think he got it perfect. I can attest to this. I see Tony Romo and Burrow. I think that's a pretty good comparison.
Oh,
I think that's a good comparison. I have no problem with that comparison.
Next topic.
What?
I'm not doing this.
No, what's wrong with Romo? I mean, Romo has.
Well, except for the fact that he's choked in a lot of games.
Yeah, but as far as their play style, I don't think
Romo is a good comparison.
As far as play style, I see no different. The way they move in the pocket, the way he slings the football, I don't see too much of a difference between the two. Now, I'm not saying that Burrow is going to be choking and stuff. I don't see that, but I'm just talking about play style. I see a very, very, very good comparison.
I think he's much closer to a more athletic Peyton Manning as far as how he plays.
What is that?
You know what's funny?
It's not Tony Romo.
I think Burrow.
It's not Tony Romo.
What is
See, no.
I'm trying to know what is an athletic Peyton Manning? That's like an anomaly. I can't see that. I can't see that.
That's what he showed.
I can't see it.
Poster King, first off, you have no parameters for this bet. Secondly, you're talking about how we hype Manziel. Manziel played fine in the NFL, and he drove himself out due to off-field.
What are you even
talking about right now? What are you even talking about?
Bills, I agree with that. Let's not do Manziel like that because too many people try to say Manziel can make the NFL. Okay, that's cool. Okay, Portland won. A lot of people say that Manziel couldn't make an NFL because of what he did on the field. That is absolutely irrelevant, and that's not fair. That dude wanted to party. He wanted to do drugs. He wanted to do a bunch of dumb shit off the field. That's what got him out of the NFL. It wasn't because his talent wasn't there. It wasn't because he didn't produce. Because when he was on the field, he did fine for a rookie anyway.
But I hate when people do this. At Cash App 100, put money where your mouth is. You haven't even set any parameters for the fucking bet. What are we betting on? That he's touched the field?
You already had money.
About? Oh man, all right.
I know
you're the same dude that said he's talented, but he's ass.
I'm still sticking with my homeboy, Mr. Ham. I see Tony Romo, but I'm not saying that dude's going to choke and throw interceptions and do dumb shit at the impromptu time. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is when I watch both of them play, hiking the ball, throwing the football, making plays, moving around, I see it. I see
as far
those
as
two.
his accuracy, I think
I think he's better. I think he's more accurate than Tony
I think
Romo.
he's a more athletic Peyton Manning.
I think he's going to throw more touchdown passing than Kirk Cousins.
Oh, come on. Why you have to pick that?
Like, as long as he hits that 30-plus threshold, he'll beat out Cousins.
It's just like Mr. Ham said. He may be like Peyton according to what the coaches have said about his studying habits. I mean,
didn't Peyton throw like 20-something touchdown passes?
28 interceptions.
28, yeah, 28 and 28.
He started out with, he was like 28, yeah. But I said,
like Jameis Winston in his fifth year.
So
like I said, the way they move in the pocket, where he moves around, I see very good comparisons.
So, Poster King, you want me to bet you $100 that Joe Burrow's going to throw a number of touchdowns that I claimed he wasn't?
25.
Like, what are we talking about?
Hold on, wait a minute. Burrow got some pretty good weapons on his team. 25 might be nothing to him.
But this is the dumb shit that I'm talking about. I never said he was going to throw 25 touchdowns. So where does the I bet he won't throw 25 touchdowns?
You know,
I said Kyler Murray part 2. You want to hear Kyler Murray's stats before?
Yeah, what was Kyler Murray's stats? That's a good question. What was his touchdown to interception ratio?
3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 12 picks. That was
Pretty
Kyler
modest.
Murray's year. Wait, I'm all talk. This is a fucking.
You're getting baited. You're getting baited at this point.
Poster King, you say I'm all talk. But this is a fucking podcast. You're all type then, because you're just typing. Wait, what the fuck are we talking about right now? You're getting postered in this debate, so your name fits. But that's about. That's literally about it. You said no. Here's what the easy bet is. The easy bet is you'll make another dumb comment about this. I'll sun you again, and then we'll move on. That's the easiest bet.
I think when it comes to Burrow, I think
25 touchdowns when I never claimed he was going to throw 25 touchdowns. This is stupid.
Shoot,
this is like saying, this is like me saying, I think next year Bradley Beal's going to have a great year. Oh, so that means he's going to average 35. We'll put money on it. Like, what the fuck are we doing right now? Is this high school? Are we throwing dice against the?
This game is about to end. Oh, that's a penalty.
Yeah, but I think Burrow's going to have a really, I think he's going to have a really good career, and he has all the potential to become a superstar, one of the top quarterbacks in the game. I do see that in his future, but for him coming out the gate,
talking about I wasn't even talking with someone like I said about his rookie year next year. I said Kyler Murray part 2. I said for his career, I think he's going to be official. All of a sudden, it's let's bet on his rookie year.
Yeah, I think like I said, Joe Burrow is going to be fine. I don't think he's going to have this explosion or whatever. I think he's going to have a solid first couple of years. I think it's going to be around maybe a year. Also, this depends on what type of weapons he get within the next 2 or 3 years. But I think after 4 or the 5th season, he's going to be like one of the top echelon quarterbacks.
60 touchdowns, but can't get 25 with those weapons.
Yeah,
what fucking weapon does he have?
He has some pretty decent ones.
Who?
He got Mixon. He got Green.
Mixon's a running back, though. Green gets hurt every 2 games.
He's a catching running back. He will get 25.
He
will get 25 touchdowns. That's nothing. I know him.
Can you name the second string receiver?
That's what I need to know. Who is that? But he will get 20, he will get 25. Poster King is saying that he won't. You're trying to say that he won't. I'm saying that he will.
I'm not saying he will or he won't. What I said was I never made that prediction. So to say that all of a sudden we're gonna bet on something that I never claimed was gonna happen is where I'm coming from. All I said was the kid has crazy talent and he's coming into the league and I think he's gonna have a great career. I said he's going to be Kyler Murray part 2 in his first year, which was 20 touchdowns and 13 picks, 3,700 yards. I don't think there's anything wrong with that prediction. And I mean, honestly, if AJ Green gets hurt, then what? Poster King's going to come back and say, see what happened? He didn't throw for that. And then I'm going to say, well, AJ Green got hurt. It doesn't matter. He threw 60 in college. So, I mean, this is a losing battle, bro. Like, it's stupid.
He keeps throwing that Cash App challenge out there.
But why am I betting? Like, I'm all talk because I'm not going to bet on Joe Burrow's career. I don't bet on sports, period. The last time I bet on sports, I told somebody that the Raptors are going to win in 5, and what happened? They did.
Oh, they did. They did get T. Higgins out of Clemson, though.
T. Higgins is cool.
6'4", 215.
T. Higgins is cool, but my point is, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Poster King, I'll bet you something. I bet you $100 he's going to throw 10 touchdowns in less than 30 picks. So there's your bet. There's your bet. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. These sports bettors make me sick.
I think I'll take the 25. I'm not betting him. I mean, fuck that. I mean, dude, Poster King is starting to get what was that guy that used to be on our on the podcast?
Didn't I chase him off?
Yeah, you chased him off. He's starting to turn into that guy, and I hate for that to happen.
But the thing with people like Poster King is they say that you're all talk because you won't bet, but they come to listen to you.
Put him in the game has a pretty good comment. Put him in the game says again the Bengals is bad luck. How many Hall of Famers they got besides Anthony Munez? Nobody shines in Munoz. That's what I'm going to say. Nobody shines in Cincinnati. Players and careers die there.
Is that bad luck or a bad organization?
Yeah, you have to start somewhere, and I think it's the organization but you got to start somewhere. I think
Marvin Lewis was the coach for 20 years.
Pretty much.
Like I said, I think the pieces they got there, AJ Green's 10 years in, they got T. Higgins at the receiver, they got Mixon. I think the other running back they got is pretty decent too. Joe Burrow.
The fuck is his
I can't remember the other
quarter. He played the last couple of years.
Yeah,
they drafted him high too out of North Carolina.
Yeah. That was him. I can't remember his name.
Gio Bernard.
Yeah, Gio Bernard. And so I think they got a pretty good nucleus there for them to be okay, but they're gonna have to continue to build off that. I mean, you're gonna have a couple of years. Probably
game over.
Probably about 3 or 4 years where they may go through some pains, but I don't think it's gonna be because of Joe Burrow. I think he's gonna be fine. He got some weapons. So I think he'll be okay. Let's see. Pete says these quarterbacks got too much pressure to be all pros in their first couple of years. Yeah.
From people like Mr. Ham who say he threw 60 touchdowns in college.
Yeah, you got to understand. I mean, that's been going on since 2008 when Flacco and Matt Ryan came in the league. I mean, a lot of rookies was like it was okay to struggle until those two came in the league, and both of them ended up going like 11-5 their rookie year, and then everybody kind of wanted to do that.
Honestly, Flacco wasn't even supposed to go as high as he did. That was because Steve McNair retired on the Ravens suddenly,
right?
And they was just like it was a panic pick that worked for the time he lasted in Baltimore, and also getting Anquan Bolden.
Yeah. So it's like once that happened, a lot of teams wanted to get that success. Now it's like double down because now you got Lamar Jackson, you got Patrick Mahomes, you have Kyler Murray, you got all these other guys who coming in year one, or hell, we can even go a little bit before then with Russell Wilson. You got a lot of quarterbacks who come in very early and they use all their money on the other pieces around them. Long as they keep the quarterback safe, the quarterback looks like a superstar. And when it's time to pay them, the building falls apart. Because, I mean, look at the Chiefs right now. The Chiefs look good, but they only got like another window of like 1, maybe 2 years to keep that nucleus together because Patrick Mahomes has a ridiculous contract and no telling what's going to happen to everybody else on the team. Mm-hmm. But that's the price you pay. Look at them on the back end. They won a Super Bowl. They probably can win another one with that nucleus. And what they'll do, they'll wash, rinse, and repeat when it's time. And I think that's what a lot of teams are trying to do now is like get the cheap quarterback, get the souped up defense. And when it's time to pay your quarterback, you just try to fake it till you make it. Seattle's going through that right now. Seattle went to the Super Bowl on Russell Wilson's contract. Dude was making pennies because, first of all, he's a 4th-round pick. So dude was making like less than $1 million on that rookie contract. Once he got the second contract, look what happened. No Legion of Boom. The linebacker corps is not that good. They can't even keep a running back. It's like everything fell apart once they tried to give Russell Wilson some money. So, the actual strategy now is like get the quarterback on the cheap. Right now, the Ravens are doing that right now as we speak. They're literally doing that right now.
Do you have some type of Bengals insider?
Yeah, who knows?
What is going on with this right now? It's so easy for the offense now. They're going to use his same offense from LSU. What?
Hold on, no, they're not. Zach wait a minute. Zach Taylor is a Big 12 football quarterback. Zach Taylor is a Big 12 quarterback that played in the Big 12. They're not going to use Ed Orgeron's offense. Bro, they're not doing that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and these are the people that say I'm all talk.
As a matter of fact, look at this. Let me tell you how they're not about to use the LSU offense. Zach Taylor, as a coach, he was at Texas A&M. He was at Miami Dolphins as assistant quarterback coach, offensive coordinator for the Dolphins. Went to University of Cincinnati as an offensive coordinator. Now we all know in the University.
Oh, now it's the same principles.
Hold on. Wait a minute. University of Cincinnati ran a spread offense, so that kind of negates what we're talking about here. Then he was the Los Angeles Rams assistant wide receiver coach and quarterbacks coach. They're not touching nothing that LSU did based on what he done.
King, let me fix your statement for you since you keep putting your foot in your own mouth. They're going to call plays that he initially is comfortable with based on what he did at LSU. I'll fix it for you. I don't know.
Hold on. Wait a minute. What? Where you get that from?
They're going to. That's what every rookie quarterback does. They call plays for rookie quarterbacks that they're comfortable with in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. But they don't use the same playbook from the college. They don't do that because you also got to understand that everybody else that's on the offense don't run that offense.
One time that was done, and that was for RG3. They brought the
Daniel Jones last year.
Yeah, they don't do. I mean that is an anomaly. That don't happen every time. I can promise you that.
Right.
You don't do that every time.
But
I get what you're saying.
No,
don't get me wrong, Bills. I get what you're saying. yes, they run plays that the college, not college, but the quarterback is comfortable with. But they don't. Most coaches do not bring the college offensive playbook that player had.
No, I completely disagreed with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just saying they do call plays that is somewhat from the ilk. Within that playbook, they'll call plays from the ilk of what
kind of similar. Somewhere it's kind of similar to what they do. I can understand that. Like in other words, like in other words, like Los Angeles Rams was Zach Taylor's. He was the wide receivers coach and the quarterbacks coach. I would not be surprised if some of Sean McVay's stuff is in his playbook, but they're going to look at some plays that he ran at LSU and say, hey, we're going to throw this, and we may throw this in our playbook for the first couple of weeks or maybe the first year of your development. I can see that.
You're not making any sense, bro. See, this is the shit that gives me a fucking headache with people. He's the number one pick going to the worst team in the league, and that's record-wise because there ain't no lottery. Okay?
Now flip that. Like with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, they didn't run any plays from Oklahoma. They ran the plays from Texas Tech when Cliff Kingsbury was there. Yeah. They just happened to run plays that they made it comfortable for him to run those plays. They didn't bring like Oklahoma playbook over. No. But I get what you're saying. Like they will find plays that they're comfortable with.
He's it's gonna be LSU all over again, so it should be fine. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You got to think about it. Zach Taylor and Ed Orgeron's offense is like they're not even the same. It can't be.
This dude's playing the Browns defense, the Steelers defense, and the Ravens defense basically 6 times.
But Bills, I mean, you got to think about it. When you run certain playbooks, you got to think about the blocking scheme. You got to think about what the tight ends and the receivers need to do. You got
the NFL speed that you have to adjust to.
You can't run their actual playbook because even the offensive line are going to have to learn everything over again. And some of those guys are veterans. We're not about to go to a college playbook for some veterans. AJ Green's going to look at you like, what the fuck are we doing?
Bro,
you know what I mean?
It's completely different, bro. I don't know why he's even.
Yeah, it's just going to be weird to do that. But don't get me wrong, Bills. I don't want you to think I'm disagreeing with you. Like, I can see them running maybe 1 or 2 plays that they ran at LSU and have him be comfortable. Like, say, for instance, okay, for the first drive, of your rookie career, or like the first drive of every game, we're going to find like 4 plays that you're comfortable with in LSU. We're going to run those plays, but they're not going to implement the like 50% of the LSU playbook. That's stupid.
They're gonna do things that they know what routes he's most comfortable throwing.
Right.
They know out of which formations.
Right.
And they're gonna try to, tailor that to his game. They're not gonna port the whole playbook over. And that's why I said, that's how you make a quarterback. I mean, shit, look at what they did with Garoppolo last year and held his fucking hand. Play action, play action, play action,
Right.
play action, play action.
And you need to take Bill Belichick name out of there, put Josh Daniels in there, because Bill Belichick don't call offense. But with this being said,
oh God,
he said they will put some wrinkles in the. I have I have 100% confidence that Josh McDaniels will do this for Cam Newton. That's a given. I know they will do that for him because Josh McDaniels is that type of. I mean, you got to think about it. Josh McDaniels, he changed everything for Tim Tebow. So what you think he's going to do for Cam?
I think Jake Fromm will be starting for the Bills in 2 years.
No. Nope. I don't see it. I don't think Jake. Damn, Jake Fromm. Shit. Because Jake Fromm has this talent, and we both can say this, Bills. He has this talent, and he has this aura about him. Look like he could be like a number 1 overall pick sometimes.
You know the issue with Jake Fromm?
And then the flip side of it, you like, why is he playing college ball?
As far as talent, the thing I've noticed with Jake Fromm, he doesn't have that strong of an arm.
But that's the thing. That's what makes him so good, because he does have the arm, but he makes like excellent throws.
Yeah, but those throws that'll be completed in college will be picked off. And
that's what I'm saying. Is like when we look at him in college, me and you both said it's like, like the Florida game when he played in Florida against Florida, or when he played against Notre Dame. We're looking at him. Yeah, we're looking at him like, God damn, he should be the number 1 overall pick. But when you really look at him, he has these other games. You be like, all right, what the fuck is going on? Like for instance, the South Carolina game. Like, all right, what the hell are we doing?
DJ, why'd you send this? Oh my God, why'd you send this shit to the DM?
I be looking at Jake Fromm. I'm like, what the hell? It's like,
that was like Jim Brown from Original Gangsters with that David.
Man, don't do this, man.
Oh man, yeah, that was. I saw. I need to share.
Why he? Hey, hold on. Why he look like he in somebody's apartment that he don't need to be in?
Oh, come on.
Don't even like he's like at somebody. He like broke into somebody's house to do this.
Oh wow, yeah.
This is gonna be the second person. The first person was Coach Ruckus. Now we got somebody else breaking into somebody.
Coach Ruckus was eating dry pancakes.
He looks like somebody that just broke in somebody's house to do this. It look like that's not his house. I'm calling the cops. But but let's get back to Jake Fromm. Like, seriously though, like, what he has to beat? What's his name? Josh Allen. I don't think he's gonna beat Josh Allen. I don't think he's gonna beat out Josh Allen or the Bills. I don't think so.
Well, Mr. Ham said he's gonna get hurt, which no.
Hold on, he said who's gonna get hurt? He's a game manager. The QB.
Josh Allen, he thinks he's gonna get hurt.
Nah, dude's like 6'7", bro. I don't
Fromm's on the Bills roster.
Yeah, he's on the field. Yeah, he's on the Bills roster. He got drafted by the Bills in the 5th round or something like that. But I mean, Fromm has the tools. He may not have the arm. What the thing about I don't knock Jake Fromm for his arm, because he makes the right throws. The throws are very smart. It's just that, like you said, Bills, is a possibility if they don't tighten that up. Those could be picked in the NFL. I can agree with that.
His arm, based on what I've seen, looks like it's like a step above. Do you remember Chad Pennington?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? Overall,
some floaty ass throws, bro.
And to him, overall, those two are like a really good comparison to the two.
Yeah, I mean, Pennington was really accurate, but his arm strength just left much.
Just was not there,
especially after he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah,
he's their insurance policy. I don't even think he's that.
Oh,
I just think they need a quarterback.
I think he is. I can
think
agree
they
with
need
that.
a quarterback on the roster.
But yeah, I can see that too. But I think
they'll eventually get a veteran, and he'll be the third string.
I think Jake Fromm can play in the NFL but they're gonna have to tighten up some of his throws because he's a very intelligent guy that he makes the right throws, but sometimes the ball don't have any zip. Sometimes his deep ball is not far enough, but he makes the right plays. And in the NFL, that goes a long way. You just need to get the ball there. Put him in the game. Said I thought he got clipped for doing some racist shit. Yeah, the elite whites. No, they kept him on the roster.
Yeah, they did.
They kept him on the roster. I hope Tyler Bass snuff him for being a bulldog though. But that's another story for another day.
Just
Tyler Bass is the kicker from Georgia Southern. He plays for the Bills now. I need to get his jersey.
Just no out routes for Jake Fromm.
See stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the type of stuff that he will make that play, but the ball won't get there. Kind of see what I mean?
Right.
It's just he has everything there but the arm.
How do we get on this topic?
And we just started talking about Joe Burrow and talking about other college quarterbacks. That's basically what happened. I think it's pretty good.
An interesting question though.
But I think it's pretty good because we ran through the topics pretty easily and it's still early, so we're good.
So I have a question about that because now this brings up the issue of Trevor Lawrence. I said personally, I don't think Trevor Lawrence should play this year, and he might have God on his side because he might not be playing this year. So,
I don't think he should play. I agree.
So here's going to be the issue. Let's say for some reason they don't have the NFL season. How do they do the draft order?
That's
What do you just redraft the same order? You got to do a lottery for the first time.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think they'll do. I think this would be the first time. Actually, well, I ain't gonna say the first because I can't remember. This would be a time to do a lottery.
And I would average their percentages based on team records over the last 5 years.
Man, they gonna rig that shit. You know the NFL gonna rig it. He gonna get sent to some prestigious franchise. I don't know who, but he gonna.
I need to get this tab off my because Hollywood really looked like he broke somebody's house to work out. He really did. Like it'd be funny, like all of a sudden somebody walks in, like, "What the fuck you doing here?"
With a tagline, it's like it's never too late to get it in. I'm like, where? Those are thieving hours you talking about.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden he walks out with a PS3 or something like that. Like, what are you doing? But what were we talking about? God damn it, Hollywood.
We were talking about spring college football like well before.
He said, I saw it, and when I saw my inbox blinking, somehow I just knew this was why. Oh, my Lord.
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence is the truth. Well,
yes, I think he's pretty good, but keep going what you're about to say about Trevor Lawrence, Bill.
Well, look, I mean, if you ask Poster King, Trevor Lawrence said the truth. He just played in a weak conference, right? It's always something. And then,
well, I will say this:
the ACC is not as strong as it used to be, especially with
the
collapse of Florida State and Miami.
Man, Mike, and that's what I was just about to say. I mean, 2005, 2008. I mean, the ACC was on fire. I mean, you even had Virginia Tech was on fire back then.
The one thing I'll say is, if you go back to the prior podcasts that we've done, what I've always said about Trevor Lawrence is. The same thing with Deshaun Watson, which is what impresses me is how they play against competition after going a whole year basically without playing against any, right? Because they're going to walk to the college playoff.
Right.
And then they get to the college playoff and they play pretty well. Trevor Lawrence didn't play great against LSU. He played okay. LSU was just going to stomp, they were going to stomp anybody out.
This is another reason why I can't stand the Georgia Bulldogs. I hate the team with a passion because Trevor Lawrence, isn't he from Georgia too? He's from the state of Georgia, and he ended up going to Clemson. Yep. Deshaun Watson, another one from the state of Georgia, ended up going to Clemson. Justin Fields went to Georgia. They let him walk. It's like all this. Cam Newton's another one. It's so much talent in Georgia, and the Bulldogs can't get them. This is fuck. I can't stand them. But anyway, whatever. It pisses me off because I used to like the Bulldogs until. Like I got on Twitter and I started following a lot of Georgia Southern Eagles. And I could not believe the hate that the Bulldogs was giving my team. Like, you know what? I wish we would play them this year. We will whoop their asses. We will beat the hell out of Georgia. I'm calling it. We will beat them this year. The Georgia's on the downside and we're on the uptake. Let's go.
But yeah, Trevor Lawrence is very talented. And what gets me about him, like I said, similar to Deshaun Watson, is his poise. I mean, his freshman year, look at how he performed against Alabama in the title game. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So I've already said I think him and Burrow are the two best quarterback prospects since RG3 and the Luck. And I think they're both going to have good careers. But like I said, the issue with Trevor Lawrence is going to be, what do you do about the draft? And
I think
how do you assess players, more importantly, if the season doesn't happen?
Oh, I ain't worried about assessing because I think what they're going to do, they're just probably just going to do it based off workouts and combines. I think that's what I mean. I understand you want them to do it off of games, but if they don't have games, that's just the next best thing. I don't agree with it, but I mean, what else you got?
If you go based off the last time Trevor Lawrence played, you may
wait a minute. What boys to lose by 20? You about to get muted.
Because he's based in reality.
Not this year. Any other year, I give you that. Not this year. We won't lose. No, I'm not hearing that. Fuck that. What quarterback in Georgia got? We ain't trying to hear it.
Well, nobody gonna lose this year because ain't nobody gonna play.
Well, the Sun Belt is playing. We're playing. Matter of fact, we picked up. We're gonna play Army this year. I'm actually surprised at that. And y'all might think that's nothing, but Army's coach used to be the coach of Georgia Southern, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see those two coaches play against each other.
Go ahead and drink that Corona cocktail if you want to.
Wow!
Oh, don't do that. You already know how I feel about these guys playing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I think they should play. I think just stop being scared.
I'm just talking shit.
But nah, I don't think this year. I think we can take them because our team is actually stacked pretty good this year. Georgia Southern's done a great job of recruiting and getting some transfers. Georgia Southern has a pretty good team this year. Oh, I can't wait till we play Crap State. Oh my God, I can't wait till we play Appalachian State.
Crap.
Just to shift gears for a second. Y'all heard? I guess it's confirmed that there's gonna be a My Career for WNBA.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad you said that because I forgot about that.
It's gonna be interesting to see if it's gonna be next gen or current gen though.
I think
now I'm hearing some.
I think it's this gen. I think it's this generation.
Well, I was hearing something that said basically Mike Wang said people should be women, or I guess WNBA fans should be excited for next gen.
I'm gonna look.
People think like, is it going to be current gen?
Yeah, I'm about to look that up right now. I'm looking it up right now. I think it was this gen. I could be wrong.
Because the other thing is with the My Career, with the My League situation, if they're not going to have a My League for this gen, that was going to be another one of my selling points.
Yeah, I'm taking a quick read right now.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of Reddit posts.
Yeah, I'm looking at an article right now, alt char, whatever.
Yeah, I'm looking at a bunch of stupid. I know somebody said that. Not said, but I knew it was supposed to be leaked. But I don't know if it's this gen or next gen. I think it's this one though. I could be wrong, but I think it's this one they're putting it in. But isn't it also they said something about like all your stuff that you do on this generation will transfer to next generation, like your My Team or my.
I heard VC was gonna.
So the players
would
won't
transfer if you got I thought it would only transfer if you got the special edition or some shit like that.
I heard something about. I don't know.
Okay, so wait a minute. There's one thing it says, and this is about the shot meter. Mike Wang confirmed another interesting piece of information regarding the upcoming game, namely answering the question as to whether turning off the shot meter will result in a boosted chance of making the shot. Mike simply said yes. I don't think there should be a boost.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
my last one. So
my player progress would not transfer
though. Because if you're not using the shot, that's dumb. Why should a player interface affect whether you're? Nah, I don't like that.
So they said that the player progression would not transfer, but the
VC will.
VC will. They said the VC, the My Team, and the My Team will transfer.
He went.
Of course it will.
But we know that, you know that
currency.
that's the money. Yeah, that's the money
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
you can keep your currency. You
Like
know,
I wouldn't be
think about
surprised.
that.
I wouldn't be surprised if man do the same thing. Like, oh, yeah, my card. No, they probably won't do. They're so greedy. Be like, no, you got to borrow your cards again. Like, yo, I just bought them 3 months ago. Buy
Oh,
them
wait a
again.
minute, all you did was port the game anyway.
You'll be like,
about a little gleam on the helmet, man. Fuck that.
Right.
and then you'll be like that guy that the guy that I see on Twitter all the time. I can't remember his name. That pays like $1,000 for my team.
Oh,
He's like,
Greg Smith.
yeah, Greg Smith. He's like, wait a minute. You mean the stuff don't transfer? Well, that's all right. I got another $1,000 anyway. It was like crazy, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Oh, man.
But nah, man, these current. Let's talk about that for a second because we still got another like 20 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Current gen games, the sports games, Madden 21, NBA 2K21.
Not
hold on, wait a minute. MLB The Show. Is that coming out for? You would think that's coming out for PS4 and Xbox? Is that gonna be a next gen game?
That is interesting because
that comes out in March.
Yeah, there's.
Well, also, one more thing, just real quick on 2K, the demo comes out the 24th.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the day before Madden comes out,
Mm.
which is a Monday. I want to.
So, are we getting a current gen version of MLB The Show?
More than likely, I would say yes.
Interesting.
I would say yes.
It's just the way the time that it's released.
And then probably the console versions get current gen Xbox. Then I would say that if they do that with current gen MLB The Show, then they'll port it.
That's another question. Like, are they making a current gen version for the Xbox One and not the Series? That's a good question. Nobody has asked about that. But anyway, what I was saying about Madden and NBA, like, what if these games have like these intricate things in it that actually make the game pretty good? Like you say, like UFC 4 is their last year in the contract year. They made the game really good. Even though this game is the last year on this console, they probably made the game pretty good as far as the mechanics and everything is pretty much on point. What do you think the possibilities of that happening? Because I mean, if you look at the history, they kind of done that. Well, I ain't gonna say both teams. I know EA has done that. I mean, they done it with when they jumped from PS2 to PS3. Madden 06 is like phenomenal on the PS2, but it's trash on the 360. Madden 25 is pretty good too. So
it's sad because like there's games like NHL where I just want to hear that the AI was improved. I can deal with so much of the other shit in that game.
That's another game. That's another game. The last game that was officially developed for the PS3, Xbox 360 was NHL 14. I still play that game. That game's phenomenal.
If they improve the AI, I would be able to deal with so much shit that happens in that game. But that's going to be interesting to hear details about that. As far as Madden, I have no expectations for next gen Madden because they've given me no reason to have any. 2K really hasn't either because, everything that they've said has been word of mouth. I'm just taking a wait and see approach as far as my expectations for these games. We haven't seen anything.
I got a feeling that next gen 2K is going to be like the 2K14 of this year. I think they're going to this generation. I think
it would be insane.
Well, they already kind of put it out there with the player movement saying there's going to be a significant difference.
Right. And then when you think about 2K14 on PS4 compared to 360, there was a significant difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have too much faith in 2K21, the current gen. My thing is like, all right, if I already said, if I can get it for a cheap price, I'll get it. But I think it's going to be an all right game. I don't think it's going to be.
I'll have it. I'll definitely have it on PC.
Yeah, I think I'll get it on PC and just and see what it's hitting on. Because I don't have any faith in it too much compared to the next gen version. Madden, like you said, DJ, is a possibility that could be a port, and that's the last thing I really want to hear.
Tragic.
Because, like I said, I haven't heard them talk about building anything from the ground up for next gen.
They haven't really talked about it, period.
except maybe graphically. But that because remember that was because you got to remember that trailer was in engine
But
footage.
that's why I think that
That's why I don't think it's significant.
Oh, you talking about that original one with Pat Mahomes and the guy playing against the Packers.
I feel like
No, remember the trailer that was it had Madden 21 and FIFA 21. And it was supposed
he
to be like
means
a
the
next
one that
gen.
happened in the EA play.
Yeah, that one.
I was talking about the one when I saw Pat Mahomes reach for the touchdown.
No, that's a still photo. Ain't nobody worried about that.
That not only that. No, wait a minute. Remember when we first saw Madden 21?
Trailer.
Yeah, we first saw Madden 21 because we saw Pat Mahomes run to the end zone.
That wasn't a next gen trailer.
How do we know that?
Yes, it was.
We don't know if it was.
No, it was. No, hold on. It was. I remember. No, it was because I remember I was showing it to J Music, and at the bottom it said ran off the Xbox Series X engine. I promise you, it said that.
I'll go back and look at it.
Yeah, I think I got it on my phone. I'm going to look because I'm almost certain because J Music, because remember I tweeted it out and I said Madden 21, y'all, and it was like, is this on the Series X? And I had to screen cap it to show them at the bottom of the picture said it was footage from the Xbox.
Like in-engine footage? Did it say that at the bottom?
Yes.
And we're talking about the same trailer. We're just talking about different moments of it. I think that's where the disconnect is. We're talking about the same.
No, we're not, because you're talking
Bill,
about
you remember what I'm talking about, right?
The one on EA Play. There was one that came out.
There was one before that.
Yeah.
There was one before that. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but that was Pat Mahomes and the Steelers.
Right.
Yeah, but that one was current gen.
It
wasn't.
The one
no, it wasn't. I promise you it wasn't. Because they said it said at the bottom of it, it said it was used with the Xbox Series X engine. I'm trying to see if I have it on my phone. I'm not sure if I do, but I can promise you it did. I would not.
Now we're talking about the official. Okay, because you have Madden 21, PS5, Xbox Series X gameplay, and then there's official reveal trailer.
I'll find it.
And then there's because
the trailer was called Madden 21 First Look, probably, or something like that.
Let me see if I can search my Twitter and find it. But I promise you it did. Madden 21. Let's see. Photos. Come on.
Did it say Madden 21 official reveal?
No, it said at the bottom
for Xbox One and PC.
Here it is. I got it right here. I got it right here.
Gameplay captured in
Xbox Series X
engine.
All right, send it to the Twitter, the link to the Twitter DM. I want to look at it.
I'm looking at the Sports Gamer Online one. I can't find it.
Where is it? Here you go. I'm sending it to you right now. And it says work in progress, gameplay captured on Xbox Series X engine. And it looks, and who said that? Work Birdie? Work Birdie said it.
So that was a still picture.
No. This was I screen capped that off of the
That's why I actually sent me the link so I can look at it.
Well, I don't know the link of the trailer, but that's from a trailer. That's from.
He said EA would have.
It's
on PC having the new feet. No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, that is from when they combined FIFA 21 and Madden 21, and because they showed snippets.
I don't think that was in that trailer.
This was a trailer of Madden 21, and this is the part where I screen capped it so people could see it. And he asked me, was this from the Xbox Series X? And it says right at the bottom, it says work in progress, gameplay capture in Xbox Series X engine. This was not a screen that I picked up. This was a screen cap that I made from that link.
Word Brady, there's no confirmation that it's going to be a port. We can assume that, but I mean, that's just.
I'm just saying, from the in-engine, that it looks like it's gonna be mostly a port. I'm just sticking my neck out there and saying I think it looks like it's gonna be a mostly a port. I'm like, they haven't said anything about it being built from the ground up or anything. It's gonna use the same engine.
All right, let me see if I could do this.
I was making before,
if I get kicked out, if I get kicked out, I get kicked. But I'm gonna try to share the screen because I want people to see this. It says heads up, Chrome has a bug that can cross. All right, if I'm out, I'll come back. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see my entire screen. Yeah, that right there. Oh, it worked. There we go.
He said, "What if I told you I work at EA testing games?" Well, we can't confirm or deny that either, buddy.
And plus, I get that. And here's the thing: I get that same email about testing games remotely. And if you happen to be in Orlando, and you get like free games if you get selected,
So
I get that email too.
So when y'all look at that, what do y'all think? Y'all think that's a port or what? Honestly, does that look like a port?
Hunchback Running.
Yeah, that looks like a port.
That looks like a port to me. Honestly, that looks like a port.
And that's basically all I'm saying, because none of this is not built from the ground up.
No, but so the point I was making before was, I'm not arguing whether it's a port or not. What I'm saying is, these companies are keeping really tight-lipped about these next gen titles, and I said this before, is because they don't want to sacrifice their current gen sales. That's why they're waiting forever to give any information about it. 2K's letting little details slip out, but they're not really talking much about the game in general, and they're definitely not showing anything. That's why, to me, it's like, I don't think we're going to hear anything significant until mid-September.
Well, for the next gen one, I can agree with that, because I mean, yeah, I can agree with that, because the console's supposed to come out in November, right?
Yeah, and they're getting 2K out of the way the first week of September. So
I'm gonna be honest with you, I would not be surprised if we don't see anything till October.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but I'm saying the earliest is going to be mid-September. So it's, they're really keeping tight-lipped about it, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if EA was a port. I can't confirm or deny it. Looks like it, but I mean,
says it's the same game. Look at the big monitor in the stadium. It still says Madden on the screen. Oh goodness.
He said it's Madden 20 just dancing after the play. Well, we can already deny that because Madden 21 is a Madden 20. So.
Yeah, don't forget we already played the beta. As far as the current gen version is concerned. So yeah.
I mean, even if it is, I mean, like I said earlier in the podcast, I didn't think Madden 20 was a bad playing game. They just needed to fix the running animations. A lot of people give the game a lot of shit, but me personally, I think it was a decent game to play. I didn't have too many quarrels with Madden 20. I just wish that the franchise.
I didn't like the fact it took the game speed settings out. That made the game play completely different with the game playing that fast. Everybody's moving at warp speed on the field.
I'm just mad they keep ignoring franchise mode. That's
and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is from a guy that wants refs on the field and the chain gang and all that. I compromised myself to play what was on the field, and on the field was actually a pretty decent experience. I just wish that everything was included as well. So I mean,
also it's funny how Work Birdie Gaming said I can tell you this is Madden 20 just dancing after the play. They danced after the play on Madden 20.
They ain't been dancing after the play like on this Madden 13.
See, he's saying the AI is really bad. I don't know what version of this game you play, bro, because I'm telling you right now, the current gen version of Madden 21 plays really well. So this testing game.
He said it looks great, and there's a lot of cheese plays, and the AI looks bad. I wouldn't know. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Which is the contrary to Madden 21 beta.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Honestly, we talked about this with Scott OG. I'm not one of these guys that look for cheese plays. I'm not one of these guys that find cheese plays. I play by myself, offline. That didn't sound right, did it? That sounded terrible. I play by myself. Oh,
that's funny because I didn't even hear it the first time to capitalize on it.
Good.
But since you repeated yourself, like you play with yourself,
pause.
Big pause. Like I play the game offline.
Play alone.
I'm not even saying that. I said I play the game offline.
Solo.
I play offline, and I don't have these instances where I find cheese play. I try to play straight up, like as far as actually using the playbook. I don't look for all in the AI. For me, I actually had some pretty good games. I think I went to like week 6, week 7, and with the Falcons, I was 4-3 after 7 games, and I thought that was legit because I actually played within the confines of the playbook and my team's talent. And I think a lot of people don't do that.
Well, so you were playing online? Oh well, shit.
Oh, he said he plays online. Well, that's
Yeah, there's two different experiences. There's so many different experiences that people have based on their
Work Party says I
settings.
play head. He said I play head to head. I hope you guys don't think I'm being rude just talking to you guys. I like the pod. No, no. Listen. This podcast, we don't pull any punches about how we feel about each other up here, so you guys in the chat can get it too. But nevertheless, we always said playing online has so many variables that you can't. It gets to the point you can't even play. You can't even blame the devs for the problems that's in the game we play online.
Hey, if you play online, when you come across W, can you tell him he's a piece of shit?
No, well, you can do that absolutely, but like I said, you got to play with your internet connection. You got to play against the other person's internet connection. You got to worry about EA servers. Those three things alone can skew the game to the point where you're mad at the devs of any game, and it might not be necessarily their fault. You look at all these flaws that happen when Madden first come out, and then when you look at the top, you find out they're playing against somebody or they're playing like on arcade mode, and like, oh, well, what's really wrong with the game. The only way you can find out, in my opinion, to find out what's wrong with the game, you play the game offline against the AI, and if you have these bugs and problems, you know it's directly because of what's on the disc or what's being downloaded, not because of servers. Because once you put those three things in your server, your person that you're playing against, and the EA server, once you put those three things in it, you're actually asking somebody to sabotage the game and complain about it. I mean, it's never going to be one-to-one or perfect when you add those three elements in it. And I think that's fair. You don't want to buy a car and tell three mechanics to do something under the hood and get mad at Ford or get mad at the car company. Well, those three mechanics just fucked up your car. Like, why would you get mad at the company? So it's crazy. I don't understand it. But I'll never be a fan of online gaming outside of being a first-person shooter, or hell, even a third-person shooter. I'm good with that, but sports, absolutely not. You rarely catch me playing a sports game online. It's just too many problems.
Yeah, that's another reason why UFC gets nerfed every year, because these clowns are playing online and then they go and talk about shit that doesn't work, and then the offline gamers who are just enjoying playing against the computer stuff.
That's just what Mr. Ham's saying. And then to nerf the whole game to cater these online clowns, or I can say clowns, but gamers, because everybody's not a clown.
I don't play Ultimate Team. I don't play Ultimate Team at all. Well, respect to you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Ultimate Team.
Oh, so Work Birdie is like me.
It's not everybody. The thing is, it's not everybody that plays online.
No, because people play online. You got some people that try to play straight up, but like you have the NY Kids, you have what's the name, Beast. You have these guys who try, but you're fighting against the machine basically. You're saying this don't work, but you got the online mechanism that could mess up the game. You do realize one glitch, like for instance, I was botting out earlier because my internet access was acting up. Could you imagine how that is when your player's out of position because your internet connection is acting up when you're playing online?
Yeah,
why would you go blame EA for that? I mean, let's be
Call of Duty when somebody's connection's fucked up, and every time you encounter them, your game lags.
Right, and then you're gonna go after Sledgehammer Games or Treyarch about that. I mean, come on, we gotta be honest with ourselves.
Well, I did. I was like, you need to get this bitch ass nigga out the game.
Yeah, I get it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you gotta think in reality of like when your internet connection and it may not even be like obvious that your internet connection is acting up. Like I didn't know that I was botting out because my internet connection looks good, but I was sounding like a robot. Like what Pete said, I sound like whoever the fuck. It's like
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. Like I didn't know that. So when you have a problem with your games, like you can't get mad because you're playing online. It's like that's just a totally different. It's a totally different beast that you can't blame nobody but Comcast, whoever your internet service provider is. It's like you could have the best servers in the world, but one dip. Do you realize how bad one dip in your internet service can actually affect the game when you're playing?
Just imagine players appearing in front of you, then disappearing, and then appearing totally behind you. That's how bad it can get.
Oh yeah, and I mean even that. I mean we can just take it on a small scale. Like let's say you're throwing the ball across the middle and your internet dips, and all of a sudden you're lagging out, and the receiver don't get to the ball where it needs to be. Oh, I'm gonna call Clinton. Your internet access is fucked up. That's what the problem is. It's like we have to got to think a little bit.
Call
you know?
Clinton, tell him there's another practice squad tryout if you want to make a career out of that.
You know, that's why I say when people complain about these games, I always try to figure out what they plan on, and then when I find out they're playing online, I just dismiss it. I'm like, all right, fuck that. You have no leg to stand on. I can't even roll with you. But when you have these instances like MLB The Show, which is offline, and you saw the bullshit in that game, it's like, yo, the game is offline and the ball is
wow. Giannis just headbutt one of the Wizards, and he may get some games for that.
What?
Yeah, Wagner got headbutted by Giannis.
Well, I mean, how many games we're playing anyway? I mean, shit, like.
Yeah, but you're talking about a team that's not in the playoffs, finishing their 8 games, and a team that is playing, obviously, their star player, and their star player goes.
The star player just headbutted somebody, and they're about to go in the playoffs?
That's what I'm saying.
Bills, how many games he's getting?
He's probably not going to get that many because he's a star player.
No.
Let me tell you something. If this shit ain't rigged for the Bucks to win, that motherfucker may get a whole series. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. Let me see. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, charge. Okay. That was clearly a charge. All right. Mo Wagner gets up. Giannis
yeah, because I'm only seeing the part where he headbutts him. I need to see the whole thing.
I'm trying to find it right. Okay, he's still talking shit.
No, man. But like I said, I think overall, man. I think I talked about this a while back. I think we bitch and moan about these games. I mean, that's what we do. But at the end of the day, these games aren't as far off as we make it out to be. I think every single game that came out within the past couple of years of like one or two things off. Like you look at Madden 19, all they needed was to keep the real player movement in. The game was not that bad. You know, it may have some bugs and glitches like certain plays not running right.
Wow.
Yeah. And it looked like he wasn't even going to him. That's what it made. He turned his head and Giannis was like,
get over here.
He was trying to get around him, and Giannis like, nah, fam.
Yeah, that's matter of fact, I don't know if you know this dude. He used to play in the NFL, Michael Campanaro.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was like, he posted this y'all league MVP. Question mark. Oh man. Yeah, I would like to know what Giannis was thinking because he clearly had a beeline for Wagner, and Wagner was not even. He had his hand up, was like, hands up, don't shoot.
I got a question though. What kind of move he was trying to do right there to get around that guy? That was just terrible movement all the way. What you talking about?
He was walking around him like
Giannis ran up to him.
He was just walking around him as if he's walking to his bench.
No,
I was his hands up like I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just
I was talking about the Euro step in the beginning. Like what the fuck was that?
Well, that's Giannis. He doesn't have any basketball.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Nah, but
wow. Yo, that is crazy.
I didn't see the headbutt yet. I wonder is this the video that's 115?
Yeah, it may be.
Let me send it to you.
Yeah, I need to see the whole video, but
I'm looking at
the part that I'm looking at is.
I send it to the DM.
Okay.
I'm trying to read the comments.
Yeah, this is the same one. This is the same one I was looking at. Same one. I didn't see the headbutt. I missed it.
Giannis has become such a fake tough guy.
Oh, that was a good play to step out in front. I guess they were talking shit to each other, and Wagner's just like, whatever, fucks off.
Giannis gets mad because the refs finally called his illegal fullback dive play.
That's what it looked like. Look, he was trying to run the ball. That's what it did look like.
Yeah.
Playing in this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is he doing in the game?
Somebody said Wagner tried to chest check Giannis. Dumbass. It was a fucking charge. Oh my god.
Wow.
This is why I don't like Twitter or any type of social media. These motherfuckers don't be knowing what they're talking about. They just spout off, just saying stupid shit. He really headbutted him.
I don't see the headbutt. What am I? Where I need to go out to see it? Because I'm looking at.
You see, you're on the video. You're on the
yeah,
video,
the 115. Right? I'm looking at
Like
that right
50,
now. Okay, go to 45. Go to 40 seconds and watch.
Okay, 40 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, go to 40 seconds. You'll see it.
Okay. Oh no. Yeah. He about to get. Yeah. That was some Dennis Rodman type shit right there, bro.
Right, that's at least that. I'm like going into the playoffs. That's at least.
He might get a car. He might get two.
Right.
Two
or three.
He looks like he got Wagner in the eye though, because Wagner didn't even really flop. I think he got him in the eye.
You said hands up, don't headbutt.
I want to know what.
It's like German lives matters.
I want to know what Wagner said.
Yo, you know what's funny though? What?
What's
he got on the back of his jersey. Got vote Wagner.
Well, I want to know what Wagner said to.
Yeah, because they did exchange something, but it was quick, and it looked like he just said something. They said something to each other, and he walked off originally. Yeah, then what happened on the other end?
Because I'm looking at it. Okay, he comes down. He commits a charge. Wagner takes a charge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Wagner said anything until he got up, but Giannis was already coming towards him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But now his teammates saying, whoa. So maybe Wagner did say, hold on. Because number 18 is like, whoa.
Well, you got to remember, like I said, Wagner's, I think, is German. He probably said something in German. And Giannis and Wagner probably not even realizing Giannis may understand German a little bit. Right. And picked up on it like what'd you say, motherfucker?
B5 asked a question. He finally shows up at the end. He said, how about those Suns? Hi, B5.
Well, until what's the name? Didn't one of the Jenners appear in Booker's mentions? So
oh man, that is over, bro. That happened. It's over. He better not respond. If he responds, he's done. All of a sudden, he's averaging like 30. Next thing you know, he's averaging like 12.
You know, it's funny. I can actually partially blame the Jenners, the Kardashians, for even RG3 because for a second they were staring. Like one of them was on draft day was like staring down Griffin. Like
that's crazy.
Oh boy, here we go.
So Giannis walked up and said, "What did you just say to me?" Headbutted him.
Okay, so he must have said something.
That's what I was thinking. Wagner did say something, but still. I
think that's what he said. What did you just say? I'm trying to read.
All right, I'm before we get to our outros, I'm gonna tell you. One of the Bleacher Report remarks said somebody said this disgusting behavior from Giannis. My 8-year-old transgender son was watching that. Now he's asking me why did Giannis, his role model, do that.
Wait, hold on.
You know this is a troll.
Why? Wait, hold on. Did he say he what? Did he out his son as a what?
He said my 8-year-old transgender son was.
Why does it matter if it's transgender?
A troll comment.
I know it was a troll. I just thought it was funny that he put out like, really, you really doing this?
Oh man, I was choked on that one. But
somebody said Giannis out here headbutting G leaguers. Yeah, you clearly don't watch them, dude.
Wow.
Let's see. Poster King said he's getting exposed. He's been about to fight the whole bubble.
Yeah, I heard the tensions have been rising in the bubble, mainly over the playoff.
Well, you know why the tension's rising, right? Y'all do know this, right? Y'all do understand why, right? Because you know when you're in the bubble, nobody can go in, nobody can go out. They're not having any time with the opposite sex, so they got a lot of stress relief.
Well, I don't know. Some of them.
Don't go there, DJ.
Some of them probably in the bubble, bursting bubbles.
But he's right though, DJ. He's right. There's been stories about some groupies or some BMs that's going in there.
Yeah,
they've been trying to sneak them in there.
Some AB and DB. action.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
hold on.
Man to man, right? That's how the podcast goes.
Let's do our outros. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And then Smitty had the nerve to talk about DP. I don't know where the hell we got that
Wow.
from. I remember when he said that he said DP. I was like, where did you get that from?
We were laughing at that shit for
I
like 10
swear,
minutes after you said that.
the worst ones are the ones that are men of God.
Hey, you're right about that.
Those are the
Whole
ones.
nother story. Woo. That's a whole nother story. But what you got, DJ, man? This has been a funny podcast. This was great.
Yeah, especially the extra time at the end. So I'm not out here headbutting Washington Wizards players or whatnot, but I do have a website. It's dj81.org. You can go there, check out some blogs. I do write every now and then. And tomorrow evening, I do have a stream coming up on Twitch. Username's Evo325. I will be streaming the Division 2. So we're going to take back DC, make DC great again. Not all. Huh?
Tell them what time.
I was about to.
Oh, I was about
to You're like, tell me, wrap it up, hurry up.
no,
Anyway.
I thought you was gonna I thought you was gonna forget the time. That's what I was telling you.
About to start playing the Oscars music.
Right. Like, wrap that shit up, B.
Anything's better than Smitty on that damn standard podcast that we went over to. Oh my god.
Man, dude, he had like a 45-minute montage. Like,
Man, we were all messaging each other back and forth in the DMs. Like, does he know how long he's gone?
Smitty gave a lifetime achievement award acceptance speech. Like that shit
right.
was wild.
But time is going to be tomorrow evening, 7:30 EST. So that will be for the Division 2. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to game a little bit more tonight. And, it was a fun show. Thank you guys for coming and for coming out to the podcast. And, we'll be back on Thursday.
Yeah, we definitely will be back on Thursday. What about you, Bills? What you got?
I don't really have anything. I'm still trying to break down this Giannis situation. Thanks everybody for coming through. Hopefully you're not a Memphis Grizzlies fan. You're not gonna go to bed too happy tonight.
Jack move Johnny.
Yeah, well he can always watch some dudes twerking. I guess that.
Whoa.
We had enough of the man-to-man stuff. Stop.
Yeah, he can watch some people in the bubble. On the bubble.
Hoping somebody bursts his bubble. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all right. Listen, College Hoops 2K every Monday. I already put that out there. Every Monday we're gonna be doing that. I'm gonna get to that in a second, Poster King. Both of those comments, but every Monday I'm gonna do that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other one because I want to do 2, maybe 3 streams a week, but the third one is going to be like me finishing up The Last of Us. I am going to do that, but I just need to find the time to do that. As far as Monday, I already got that set in stone for College Hoops 2K8. The other one, I need to find another sports game to do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet. And the third one, that's probably gonna be like the Saturday night stream where I do The Last of Us or whatever, or any other non-sports game. I'll do that. I may be going back to Twitch. I don't know yet. I may be doing dual cast. I don't know that. Dual streams. I don't know. A couple people asked me to go back to Twitch, but I like it here on YouTube. I'll probably just stay here.
Man, Twitch is what I didn't think it was going to become. I mean, as far as being able to lay out a schedule for people to see, YouTube can't even really do all that. So
yes, that's the thing.
Twitch.
I like the setup of Twitch, and I kind of got away from it because my setup wasn't where it is. But now I can set up the stream like I can stream on a dime. Like I could just click a button. I'm good.
And plus, this is how we can also play it. I know we'll talk more about it all stream, but you can literally send your viewers to my stream. If I were to stream around the same time and you happen to wrap up before I wrap up.
Yeah, I think that's something we need to coordinate. I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm gonna end up probably going back to Twitch. I don't know yet because I have the setup to do dual and do it on YouTube and Twitch, kind of similar to like what others do. They stream from both platforms.
Fife,
So
what do you mean by what's the next stream?
My next stream is probably, I don't know, because I need to come up with the next date for, because I know I want to do Saturdays, and well, I know Sunday I'm doing the retro thing, so I'm doing that, and I'm trying to do 3 more. So I got Sunday and Monday,
If
and
I
probably
stream anything, it'll be UFC 4.
yeah,
I just
and
don't know what day it is. So.
yeah. So I know I'm doing probably Saturday night. I already know I'm doing Sundays at 8, and I'm doing Mondays at 8. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with another day of streaming.
Wow.
Now what? Now what?
Okay. I'll tell you all after the podcast. Go ahead, VF.
Okay.
Poster King. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, here we go. Poster King says that D-Wade would love the bubble. That's not nice.
Oh, come on with that, man.
He also says the Suns
True.
versus Portland. Who's winning?
Wait,
That
he said, "Do you?" Oh, never
Portland will probably win that one.
mind. Work Birdie asks if you have a clan in Division 2.
Oh, no, I don't. Oh, not on PC. I am a part of one on the PS4 version, but I don't have the PS4 version installed, and I'm not looking to really join a clan at this point in juncture for the Division 2 on PC.
Suns versus Portland. Portland in 4.
Portland and 4. Okay. So get back with me on every time I'm going to stream, because like I said, like DJ said, it may be a situation where we may stream on the same day. If that's the case, we'll just coordinate time. I don't see that happening yet, but if that's a possibility, we would like all you guys to come check us out. I mean, hell, it ain't gonna hurt nobody. Just cut on their phone and watch what we're doing and comment every now and then. That's all we really ask for. Just give us the support. We're trying to do something nice, especially in the sports gaming realm, because sadly, you don't have enough people in the sports gaming realm that actually want to actually play games. I'm trying to say that lightly. You got a lot of people that just want to give you a clip here, clip there, something's wrong with the game, or you have people who play the game, but they don't give the game or the sport respect to the game that they're playing. They want to play arcade style. They want to play doing all kind of crazy stuff with my team or MUT cards or whatever.
Basically, they're focused on the entertainment aspect of streaming.
Right.
We're focused on the game playing.
The way we feel like the gameplay in the sport is the entertaining side, not the fact that somebody can run circles somebody can run circles around the defense because they got an OP player. That's stupid to us. So, but other than that, we will be back Thursday in a couple of days. We'll have more time.
What about Bill's outro? Did he do one?
No, did he?
I do one.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Much, so.
Yeah, we'll be back Thursday with more stuff. And like I said, we don't know what we're going to be talking about yet. These topics, we do these like 10 minutes prior to going live. So we'll come up with something that'll probably end up happening anyway, or maybe somebody in the community will say something stupid. Or they may do exercises in the house that they've broken into.
Oh,
wow.
All right. We will see you guys next week, man. Y'all take it easy, guys. All right, peace.
Peace
Low
out.
nose.
Oh, damn.